Okay. Okay, we are live. We are live. We're gonna let you guys come through in a bit. Like I said, I put up a Twitter post hoping to have it's hot in here. I can take off my Zelda hat. I put up a YouTube post, let you guys know I wanted to go live a little bit more. It's gonna be a mixture of video games and discussions, because sometimes I'm not as creative as I like to be. So when you get here, hit the like button, hit the share button. Shout out to Teasy, I see you. What's up? What's up, my guy? What's up? All right, let me trade this post with this one, and I'll trade this one right here. There we go. There we go. Can you guys hear me good? Not too loud. My background music is not too loud. Make sure you guys hit the like button here, hit the share button. And I used to do this thing called Best Spot Theory, and I just kind of stopped. But I came across I got the thumbnail, still got my right credentials here. So we're gonna get started. It's Saturday, August 12th. I had a short stint in Brooklyn earlier today. Started to rain, and we bounced. Now I'm back home. But let's get into some of the things I want to talk about. Let's start with. I want to start with something until you guys get up. Let's talk about Halo, right? So, Halo, right? I just realized 343. And this is very, very, very unpopular take. Very unpopular take that I'm about to start us off with. 343 has done a good job with Halo. Now, when you consider everything, when you stop living in this bubble where everybody tells you to hate Xbox or to hate 343 or to hate Halo because it's not Bungie, you can start seeing things for what they are. So, under Bungie, there was Halo 1, 2, and 3. 3 is probably, I think 3 is my favorite. I know Halo 2 is a lot of people's favorite, but 3, and then Reach was a surprising hit, given that it was the first one. I think ODST was the first one to venture off from Master Chief's story, but Halo 3 was ODST was a smaller project. Reach was like a big project, full price game, and it was the first game they made not to follow, Master Chief outside of ODST, and I think it was like a 91 Metacritic. And that was Bungie's last Halo. Then you got to factor in, the Xbox team, after shopping around for studios that could start making Halo since Bungie was done with it, I think they were about to settle with what's this? The studio that does Brothers in Arms, man. Oh my God, I forgot the name of that studio. But they opted to make another studio to do it. Some of the people from Bungie, stuck around to help launch the new studio, which they coined as 343 Industries, and they managed, because Halo Reach came out 2010. So in 2 years they built the studio and built Halo 4, and it released in 2012. And at that time, think about that time. Halo 4 was hyped, bro. Halo 4 was hyped, and it was the biggest selling game at the time. And I think what sort of shortened Halo 4's lifespan, I think, was Black Ops 2, because that was a big hit. But when you look at what Halo was, right? Halo 4 was. The first time, I felt Halo 4's story was dope. It was dope. Halo 4 had an awesome story. Then Halo 4, for that time, had awesome graphics. It was the best I've seen Halo look. I mean, at the time, I thought Halo Reach looked good, but it still looked like Halo. Halo 4 look. Matter of fact, you launch up. This is how well Halo 4's graphics has aged. If you boot up Halo Master Chief Collection on your Xbox One X or even your Xbox Series X, right? And look at the, remember, they didn't change anything with the graphics. They just upgraded, you know, everything's 4K now. 4K 120 FPS if you're in a Series X, or 4K 60 if you're in the One X. It looks stunning. And when you bring that back to 2012 on 360, at that point in time, I think they were like probably at 720p or something like that, but the graphics was still punchy. So at the time, it was like, wow, you got a good story, you got good graphics, the campaign was pretty good, it played well. I think the only backdrop, and somebody please correct me, because I think this was why I know I wasn't the biggest fan of Halo Reach's multiplayer. And I somewhat wasn't the biggest fan of Halo 4's multiplayer for 2. And I think both these multiplayers had loadouts. I think that was the biggest knock against Halo 4. It had like loadouts, and we weren't used to that, right? As during that reign of Halo, it was you get dropped onto a map, and it's a race for the power weapons. You control the power weapons, you control the map, you're likely to win, right? And this time it was kind of sort of weird. You had loadouts. And you had, with the loadouts, you had different abilities you could also equip. And I might be merging the two, but I believe there were some distinctive differences from Halo 4 and Halo Reach versus the original 3 Halos. I know they both did multiplayers differently. But when you sit back in the 343, they launched the game. I think the game sold millions. At the time, it was the best selling Halo of all time. I think, and when you consider the year of 2012, it was the third best-selling game of the year across all platforms, only behind Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Madden 2013, whatever, right? Which is fine. And that's back when Madden was popular. Madden is nowhere near as popular as it was then, but back when Madden was still, that's like peak Madden. And you had Call of Duty, which is, that was during a time that, and it still is, always going to be the best-selling game. It was pretty much at the beginning point of it being like the best-selling game. So you got to think about it. Outside of you had Call of Duty Black Ops #1, Madden 13 #2, and Halo 4 #3, best-selling game of 2012, right? And it was in the meta score. Sure, it was slightly lower than what we were used to for Halo. It was at I think at 87, but it was still a relatively great game. So at that point, I would look at good job 343. You made a better looking game than what Bungie typically makes. I felt like your gameplay, your gunplay was awesome, and I think at that time it was running 60 FPS because the Halos prior to that was not running 60 FPS. So now you got Halo 4. Master Chief Collection was a collective effort between everyone, between 343, I think Saber Interactive. I think they added another studio that helped with the port. Rough launch, but at the end of the day, it was an ambitious project. 4 games for the price of 1 game, all remastered, and there's nothing wrong with Master Chief Collection now. It's the ultimate Halo experience. If you don't like, it's the perfect alternative to modern day Halo. If you don't like Halo Infinite, Master Chief Collection looks just as good. I mean, at least Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 4 are the best looking in terms of that package, and they're all running at 4K high frame rates. Halo 3 obviously still there, 4K 120. Halo 1 still there, but in terms of like modern gaming, you want a nice alternative to Halo Infinite, Halo 2 Anniversary, and Halo 4 are the visual masterpieces there. But as far as like fun factor, I'm going with Halo 3, and like I said, I did have fun with Halo 4's multiplayer, but because of the launch, the way it launched, because it wasn't always perfect like it is now, that was somewhat of a downward for Halo MCC. But when you look at, if you were forward thinking, you still like, man, this is an ambitious product, right? They did a good job putting it all together, and now it's where it needs to be all these years later. The next year, because Halo MCC was 2014, the next year they had Halo 5 Guardians. Now, to this day, just like with Halo 4, to this day, I don't know what was wrong with Halo 5 Guardians. Now, sure, if you wanted to be like, okay, well, it's not about Master Chief, they could have just dropped 5, right? They didn't need the 5, and they could have just been called Halo Guardians. It could have been like a follow-up to Halo Reach, right? Not really a follow-up to Halo, because Halo Reach wasn't a numbered Halo, so, but it could have been something like that because of the split gameplay. I know you spent most of your time as Locke. You played, you were always with 3 other companions, no matter who you were playing, whether you were Locke or your Master Chief. But that was more so that they can incorporate 4-player co-op, right? They wanted everybody to be distinct, their own character with their own, ability, with their own loadout. But I feel like they did a good job on the graphics. The game, still, Halo 5 to this day, to me, and right now I'm a prisoner of the moment. I love Halo Infinite, but Halo 5, I spent so many years playing that game. Like, I played Halo 5, I think all the way up until freaking 2020. Sure, there were breaks and stuff, but like I played it consistently for at least a good 3 years. This is almost as long as I played like Halo 3. So, multiplayer, no problem. No issue with Halo 5's multiplayer. Loved it. It was punching, maps, design, the gameplay, gunplay, the modes were fine. Even they tried out that new mode, that big Warzone mode, which was alright. But I don't know why people hate it. And then people's like, well, the marketing. Well, I tell you guys this, they did a good job marketing Halo. Matter of fact, one could probably say the best-selling first-party game for the Xbox One era, I believe, is Halo 5 Guardians. It generated so much money. They did a good job with the marketing and creating hype for the game. And the product as a video game was a good product. You had a good story. A lot of people are so emotional. There was nothing bad about Halo Guardian's story. Now, sure, did they have a couple annoying missions I didn't like? I think there was one mission where you literally walked from point A to point B and the mission was over. That was stupid. That I get. But in terms of like the whole package, I didn't find anything really wrong with the game. Now, of the trio of 343's trio of games, is it my favorite? No, it's multiplayer was my favorite. Multiplayer was my favorite. But as far as when I enjoyed playing through the campaign, I want to say it's Halo Infinite number 1, Halo 4, and then Halo 5. And then they released Halo Infinite, right? Which, the thing about Halo Infinite, it's like it has a tale of 3 lives, right? So you have the reveal, where the gameplay reveal, where Craig is born and everybody's like, shitting on Microsoft. And I think the reveal is only getting the fire it got because it was at that time supposed to be a launch title for Microsoft next generation Xbox, the Xbox Series X. So it was like, well, it's a 12 teraflop machine. We expected to see high fidelity graphics, ray tracing, high frame rates and all this other stuff. And it didn't look like a full on next generation game. It just looked like Halo, right? And so I think that's where the knock came. It was more so because it was the system. If it wasn't like a launch title, or anything like that, and it didn't become like, they delayed it, of course. But so the reveal got pretty much knocked for the way it looks, right? Boom. Then we're leading up to launch. They start showing snippets. The game is looking better. Great, cool. They released the multiplayer beta. People are loving the beta. Then they released the beta early, a whole month early. People are loving the beta. Then the campaign drops, which is the launch for the full game. To this day, I love the campaign. I absolutely love Halo Infinite's campaign. Halo Infinite. Did I declare Halo Infinite Halo Infinite was my 2021 Game of the Year. Yeah. Halo Infinite. Yep. Halo Infinite. The campaign was awesome. I don't care what nobody says. Like that was an amazing campaign, and this is why I get frustrated, because I want to see more. I want to fight the Banished. I want Atriox, right? But I like that how they introduced the weapon. I like the the pilot, how they introduced him. And sure, they could have expanded on the ring and have different biomes, but what you did in that particular location, from the interior mission structures to the exterior mission structures, I think it was done very well. I had a good freaking time playing that game. Mind you, this is the first Halo I beaten by myself, and I beat it on like a harder difficulty too. Like, it had an awesome boss fight. They had awesome boss fights in that game. Challenging boss fights in that game. So Halo Infinite, the reviews come out, right? And it's settling around the 87, right? And then what people started to get ticked off about is that because when the full game really launched, it didn't change too much from the multiplayer beta that we got. A couple people didn't like some of the battle pass quirks, the things that you unlock. They didn't like the customization. So, and then they started delaying, season pass, and then obviously we had the whole shit with like no split screen option, no co-op multiplayer wasn't there day one, and you also didn't have what's the mode where they make maps? Oh my god, Forge mode. They didn't have that day one, which was okay, but a lot of the complaints, and this is why I guess where I have a disconnect with, I guess, Halo fans or current multiplayer fans. I'm not a battle pass gamer. I can't. That's one thing I won't transition well into today's multiplayer games. I'm not into the Fortnites. I'm not into those battle royales, those free play. I'm a person that enjoyed classic Halo multiplayer, Team Slayer or Arena Free for All, whatever, team deathmatch, whatever, Capture the Flag. I play a couple of those, and I'm done. I go back in and just I don't chase passes or cosmetics or anything like that. So even though I completed the season pass, I never bothered chasing anything else in the other season pass or these other seasons and stuff like that, because I don't play multiplayer games like that. I like having a rank and an icon and a number next to my name, and I like to be able to check, my profile, what I've done, my KDA, and how many matches I won, how many kills I got versus deaths. Those are still to this day more important to me than if I played and participated in some sort of an event that was limited time, or that I got some freaking flaming helmet or something like that. I know that's like the new wave and stuff like that, but that's the reason why Halo Infinite to me wasn't a bad experience. Like, so a lot of the hate that people are giving Halo Infinite was like, oh, the lack of content, the lack of this. It was all multiplayer related stuff. But at the time, it's just crazy, because I'm like, damn, this is one of the best multiplayer experiences I'm having. It's literally what I love about Halo, just modernized. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't care about all the extra stuff, but like I go and I'll play on all the maps. They got some amazing maps, by the way, if you haven't played on Halo Infinite in a while. But nah, it's what I like. So I'm like, what makes this game bad? And why do 343? 343 is probably the only developer, and they need to stop this. I think that's what happens. I think they have to be liberal, but they got to stop listening to the fans. They got to stop listening to these critics, because they'll have a vision and they'll scrap it because too many of these crybabies complain about it. It's like back when Halo 5 came out, people were complaining that why you can aim down sights. Like, it was wrong that you can finally aim down sights on Halo, because Halo was you just hit fire generally, right? But the thing is, I think Halo 343, they're like balancing magicians when it comes to Halo, because For everything new they add to a gameplay mechanic, whether it's sprinting, whether it's aiming down sights, they make sure there's a counter for it. So if you aim down sight, you get shot out of it. If you sprint, well, you can't regen because Halo, when you just regen, if you get out of dodge when you're taking fire, as long as you stay out of dodge, your health regenerates. In Halo, when you sprint and run away, you pretty much, that's disabled until you stop. It's like they're like balancing magicians when it comes to Halo games, and they don't get nearly the credit. 343 has the best looking Halo games, the best performing Halo games, and they take right chances, but the problem is they have 3 distinct games that don't sync up because every game that they release, they listen to these rabid fanboys who don't know what they want. These gamers don't know what they want until you give it to them. You're not going to create the perfect Halo for anyone. You just got to make the game you want to make, throw it out there. They like it. If they don't, they don't. But if you let them dictate how you make games, you'll never have a direction. You know what I mean? So I feel like 343 have 3 great games, right? But the thing is, they're not in sync because they're pretty much all reactions to fan reaction to their previous games that were actually good. There's tons of developers and publishers that wish their 3 games can score an 87, 84, and the 87. Theoretically, there's no bad Halo game. There's no bad Halo game. If 343's Halos are bad, then that means majority of the games that release are just god awful. If 343 standard is, if your game is not at rate as high as Bungie, because mind you, if Bungie's Halos release how they were today, I mean back then, today, they would not be 90 rated games. They would not be. They would be rated just like Destiny, 79 here and 84 there. That's what they would be, right? But the thing is, it's so unfair. And that's the thing. It's like, how do these dudes have great games, but they have to react to their great games as if they were bad? They take all this like verbal abuse, verbal assault, and they don't realize, you actually made a great game, a really good game. And I think 343 don't get enough credit. Their Halos are severely underrated, and their games aren't being played by people because people live in this bottle where for some reason we're holding on to this strange opinion that Halo Infinite is bad. In Nova Universe, Halo Infinite is not a bad. In my opinion, I don't care how biased that I may be or how biased that I am, Halo Infinite is the best multiplayer current game we have right now. Sure, you got Fortnite, which is your battle royale. It's the most popular. It will always be that because they did magnificent things with it's pop culture. They involve the right characters. They got the right people on board. It's a phenomenon. I'm not taking anything away from Fortnite. I'm not a Fortnite gamer. Apex, I miss Titanfall. What else is a multiplayer game that people play? Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Actually, this is gonna sound crazy, but all 343's multiplayer games have scored better than the last, like, I think 5 or 6 Call of Duty games. If I'm not mistaken, it doesn't get the respect. It doesn't get the respect, and it's full off for no reason. 343 is not Bungie. Bungie ain't Bungie. You know what I mean? They like Halo is better than Destiny. Any incarnation, Halo is better than Destiny. Halo 4, 5, and Infinite is better than Destiny 1 and 2 in all its expansions. I say that with full confidence. Full confidence. But Halo, hopefully it gets that, it resurrects in the way it should. It gets its respect, it gets its due. And people should jump on it because it's a really fun game, quality game. The game is full of content now, no complaints. It's literally on par. Obviously, Master Chief Collection is the legacy game, and it's like I say, if you don't like the style of Halo Infinite, Master Chief Collection is the perfect alternative because it's just classic Halo. It's just looks better, plays better. It has everything you want. If you missed out on Halo, if you're just coming into the Xbox ecosystem, you're not familiar with Halo, you gotta play Master Chief Collection. And Halo Infinite is down on par with Master Chief in terms of like the content, the updates, and the life they inject into it. And just, it's crazy that they don't get the respect or the credit they deserve. I think all those people that left 343 left for no damn reason. Stop listening to these rabid, crazy ass fans. The customer is not always right. Matter of fact, the customer is never right. That's what I believe. They're never right. They're never right. The creator is right. You create something phenomenal, and then you got to hear the burden and the big mouths and the stink breath of all these people crying and whining about what you make all the years. And the thing is, it's actually a quality product. Multiplayer games these days suck ass. I still think Gears and Halo they're just because they still have enough classic in them and enough newness in them to remain relevant. You know what I mean? So that's my take on Halo, man. You guys got to check that out. And I'm gonna take a quick break on before I jump into the next topic and catch up on some comments. Shout out to the 43 people here watching. I can do a lot better than this. I got 12,700 some subscribers. If somebody said something, I need to advertise my live streams better. I do. I didn't realize I was gonna go live until I sat down in my chair. I was like, I should go live. And I went live. And then after this, I'm probably gonna go into I'm a probably live stream Halo or Gears, try to get people want to play. We need to play video games, people. The world is a depressing place with a lot of fucked up shit going on. You don't know what's real, what's fake, and sometimes you just gotta play some video games and say a little prayer. But man, let me try to catch up and see what was talking, because I went on a 25-minute rant. Nintendo the Otaku says Halo Infinite is the one where the campaign is great but unfinished, like Halo 2, and the MP is great but light at launch. Now the MP is amazing, but the SP is in limbo. All right, so my thing is, I hear a lot of so on about Halo 2, which at that point in time, if I remember correctly, in 2004, it was highly regarded. But did Halo 2 win Game of the Year, or did it win the Orange Box? I don't know what it was, but and also Halo 2, you played a lot of time as the Arbiter, right? But it still scored a 90-something. Still scored a 90-something. And I think was that the game that introduced dual wielding to the franchise, if I'm not mistaken? I believe so. Lil Sad Boy Blue says it went off, or hold on, I gotta read his first one. He said, "What's good is Smooth's Best Bot Theory back, yes sir." Okay. Let me see what we got here before we get into Gaming Forte. He says, "Stop it, Kid Smooth. Halo 4, 5, and Infinite isn't better than Destiny. Halo CE through 3 was goated, but we can have the nonsense, bro." I'm assuming he says we can't have nonsense, bro. Gaming Forte, you are wrong. Destiny 1 was trash. It was only back in hype because obviously, all right, it was the first franchise, so people was like, okay, this is the first game since Halo. It literally played like a lesser version of Halo. It had PlayStation marketing, but it was whack because you had to research everything about the lore. The game, I believe that game is a 79 on Metacritic. That's 343 doesn't have a single game below 84. Not a single game. That's including Master Chief Collection. They don't have a single game below 84. All right, and then you go Destiny 2. Sure, it was dramatically better, but it wasn't dramatically better than the Halo games that 343. And again, Halo 1, 2, 3. If you're going to talk about eras in time, it's hard to. This is where it's like when people try to compare fucking like LeBron and Jordan and whatnot, right? The times that from Halo 1 through 3, right? At the end of the day, it was a reason. Look what happened. All right, two examples of where Halo 3 was, in my opinion, the GOAT Halo from Bungie, right? My favorite Halo. I wasn't ready to graduate to Call of Duty yet. Halo 3 got dropped by a lot of players because of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which was a modern, quick 60 FPS shooter. Looked good, ran at higher frame rates. You know what I mean? They had drops and you had weapon drops, you had freaking loadouts and stuff like that. It was something new, and that was in Bungie tried to do something that they came out with. Reach was good, campaign wise, but no, I don't. There's no way if you put all 6 games in front of me, not 6, 7. How many Halos there is? I don't. No, I will. No, 4, 5, and 6 are better games. They're just better games. They're just better games. They are. For its time, sure. Bungie at this time, you gotta think about the games that from 2001 to 2007. I mean, sure, there was a lot of games. A lot of people were doing like different things, but Halo stood out. But you gotta think 10 years later, there's a lot of first-person shooters. There's a lot of people doing different things. A lot of people are in the thing called, you got Call of Duty, you got your Fallout. So the thing is, with that formula that Halo has, I feel like I'm just playing a better. Every time 343 drops a Halo, I feel like I'm playing a better version of Bungie's games. Bungie is overrated, and Destiny is overrated. How's Destiny looking now? How's Destiny looking now? I don't know if that's the PlayStation effect or the Bungie effect, whatever. But right now, from what I hear, Destiny ain't in good shape, and these are the ones that are advising what they should do with the Last of Us multiplayer game. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with you there, Forte. Dark 1985. There's levels to this. You are free to join this anytime I do it. Like I said, this is daily. This ain't no scheduled podcast. This is the time I can go off and just rant without having any sort of structure or one topic. No idea. Geekhead 188 says 2 is still the best Halo ever. Gaming Fortress says, where the player base at Kids Move over the life of Destiny? Average daily player count has been over 100K across platforms. I love Halo, but they can't even hit 30K a day. All right, that just means there's 100,000 idiots who like that type of game. I don't think player count doesn't tell me that a game is better. I don't care. There's probably 100,000 people playing Hello Neighbor. There's millions of people playing Roblox. There's damn near 1 billion people playing Minecraft. These are not those don't indicate if the game is better. Some of the best games haven't been played by many people at all. Shit, I ain't playing Baldur's Gate 3, but apparently it's the God RPG. Right? Like, I understand, sure, Destiny is more popular for some strange, odd reason, but I just look at it this way. If you're spending your time playing Destiny over Halo Infinite, you're missing out. That's my opinion. Dark Doc, yes, I'm not technically in Discord, but I can be. Just join. You can join any of the chats, and matter of fact, you could join any of the chats. And I think you're part of PX. You go to the PX Lite or whatever. I could go in there, and we can get in there that way. So if you're a part of my Discord, you can go into the PX Lite. If you want to get on cam, I have an alternative mode too. That's up to you. Just let me know. I did jump into PX Lite just in case you want it to come through. Destiny is only fun for 2 hours. Geekhead says. Junior Corporate, isn't Kid Smooth the dude that used to play a lot of NBA 2K? No, that is Chris Smooth, the basketball, the 2K guy. That's Chris Smooth. Chris, Chris, like as in Christopher smooth. I have some gameplay of 2K in live, but I don't have a channel dedicated to like 2K and stuff like that. That's definitely, you're probably thinking of Chris Smooth for sure. For sure. What else we got? So let's talk about, let me see here. Let me make sure I give this Doc the link right quick. Let me see. Is he in here? Oh no. Oh man. So I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story in a second. So I went to GameStop recently to upgrade my kid's Series S to a Series X because I'm looking to buy into a lot of the classic Spider-Man games for the 360. Because I'm gonna be binging a bunch of Spider-Man games until Spider-Man 2 comes out. And I had recently beat Spider-Man. Doc, let me know if you, what's up? Let me know if you want to go on the camera. It's up to you. All right, no, because I'm on camera. I'm gonna just update this right quick. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna fix this in a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can fix this right here. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, you can turn it on. I just gotta disable my camera right quick. Let me see. All right, cool. Let me fix that. Where's my controller at? I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story so I can get this. There we go. Let me. Oh man. If I hit the camera. Cool. Why doesn't it wanna? It doesn't want to give me the camera, bro. That's jacked up. That's all right. I'll fix it. Now I got you. Because I actually don't. I'll be on camera in my feed, but all I just need is the full screen view. So fix this here. I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna update this, display capture. There we go. We got a Dark Doc in the building. Let's adjust this.
Wow, Smooth. You this whole time.
Oh my god, I've been on the phone with Addict this entire time. Why didn't you just hang up?
I had it, like, it was in my room because I've been playing this game.
Oh, my bad, dude. You should have just hung up, bro.
Alright, peace.
Peace. Oh, man, here we go. All right, there we go. Boom. Here we go. We got Dark Doc in the house. And we're going to make sure you can hear him. Dark Doc 1985, say what up.
What up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got him, man. Thanks for coming through. Impromptu. You know, I had to throw up the bat signal.
Bro, we getting attacked, bro. We getting attacked for talking truth, bro. You know what I'm saying? They coming at us hard for talking truth, man. I don't know if this is good or not, man. Me and you on the same thing together.
What is it? It's like Pac and Snoop, two of America's Most Wanted, right?
Yes. The gangster party for sure.
Oh my
bro.
God. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You guys
bro.
hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm gonna have to tag this because I got in the event, because like I said, I don't know how long these live showings will be, but I'm gonna make sure I get a video out of this. It's the best spot in dark. I keep screwing this up.
Let's go.
In
Let's go.
In here, man. Now, Doc, I've been trying to follow you. I listened to you on the podcast. You were on it with Risk It for the Biscuit last night. That was last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I seen you were trying to press them about this whole Xbox Series S
Facts.
and the whole Baldur's Gate 3. You asked some legitimate questions. Nobody addressed it, but you asked some legit questions.
Bro, I'm asking these questions, and I'm so glad that you're also on the same thing, Smooth. Because what they tell me is, oh, you're just new to Xbox, this and that. That's the excuse. Whenever someone don't like what I'm saying, whether it's on the pony side or this side, it's always you're just new to Xbox. Well, you know what? Kid Smooth is in it too. So now what? Kid Smooth out here complaining about stuff too. So now what? You know what I'm saying? And obviously they don't want to test your gaming prowess or anything. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah. So Doc, you know before I'm gonna gloat for a little bit, right? And then we'll get into it. One thing I like about Doc, right? When you first stepped on the scene, right, is how consistent you are. You standing by pretty much what you say. Mm-hmm. One thing, you're not loyal to anything but to God, which, you know, I'm with that. You know what I mean? So you're not loyal to any, and you are, and you think from a consumer. At the end of the day, you don't care about the inner workings. It's what's being delivered to you. And
for me,
nobody can out argue you. And now I like it that you're an Xbox fan, but nobody can out argue you, and that's why when you drop a video, it's like, all right, I gotta see what this man talking about, because he be having good points and nobody can challenge him effectively.
Right. It's difficult. Like I said, I give him one cap and two truths, and you keep that ratio. It's kind of hard.
And you do address things when you're wrong. Like, that's one thing I do. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just gonna stay wrong, and I'll probably correct it in a year or two. But when you come up with something, you'll do a video. If you misspoke or if your impression was wrong, somebody will come and correct you in the comment section or on Twitter, and you back with another video.
Right. Or if you could change my perspective on something, I'm open to that. I'm open to seeing. Okay, maybe that does make sense. Okay, I'm open to see that. So yeah. But man, Smooth, this is I don't know, man. You can see. I don't know if you can see my X back there.
Yep.
I want to use it to its full potential.
Yeah.
That's all I want, brother. That's it. To its full potential. And this Baldur's Gate 3, like I tell people, it's not about the game. It's about what this game represents. When the developers are saying that they're having problems with split screen on the S. If they're not having problems with split screen on the X, why am I being punished for the console that I didn't buy? I don't understand how people don't understand it. Like, that to me makes sense. I paid $500 for the console that can do the same thing that the PS5 can. So like, why am I being punished for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the first hit. And I feel like Xbox is taking hit after hit after hit right now. I'm not gonna lie. So chat right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, the one that actually got me hyped up about the promotion thing was Kid Smooth. It was you, dog. When I was like, damn, they ain't promoting nothing. And then they promoted a freaking TV, Smooth. They promoted Starfield running on a TV. What about Starfield running on the X? Yeah. What about, like I was telling people, so if you have good enough internet, there's a possibility that somebody out there is gonna get the same experience that I'm gonna get, even though I paid for the $500 console.
I'm gonna show you something, right? I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. And this is probably not a secret, but I think a couple years ago, Microsoft invested heavily into GameStop. Like, they redid all their software systems and stuff like that. So everything in Microsoft everything in GameStop is running on Microsoft based systems and stuff like that. And in return, Microsoft Xbox has the front part of the store now. So I don't know if you've been in a GameStop for a while, but when you first walk into a GameStop, first wall is Xbox. And then the next wall is PlayStation, and then the last wall is Nintendo, right? Now, I'm gonna show you a picture of. Let me know if you can see this.
But the wall's empty.
No. Now, when you go into GameStop, what's like when you usually, they try to, get you into either buying something pre-order or try to get you to pre-own or try to get you to pre-order something, right?
Yeah.
And and they usually have like good, a bunch of big marketing stuff for the stuff that's upcoming and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I go into GameStop and I'm in front of the Xbox section. What do you freaking see?
I don't know. What do you see?
Fuck! I forgot. You can't see. You damn it.
No, put it on the screen. Yeah, I'm watching. It's just a little bit delayed. It's a little bit delayed, but I'll watch it.
But what game?
Oh, let me see. What is it?
What do you see?
What is that? I see a poster. What's
the poster of? There's two posters. One's tall and one's really big.
I see the big one. What's the big one say? I can't read what that big one says.
All right, the big one is Final Fantasy.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then the other one is Lords of the Fallen.
Where's Starfield?
That was the first question. I'm like, don't the game come out in 2 weeks?
Where's Starfield at?
Where's Starfield? So my thing is, I'm like, okay, all right. And shout out to Paris because I know he was inside of a what's the thing they do on Twitter now? The little freaking
Spaces.
He was in the space, Xbox University space, and he saw me in there, and he had words to say about my rants about the lack of Starfield marketing. And it's like, you know what, and I shut up for a little bit, and I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong for wanting. Why do I want them to market this game so damn bad, right? I'm going to play it. But the thing is, let me show you one more thing, and this will probably going to take you a couple seconds, right?
Go ahead.
I went to the PlayStation section, and what did I see?
Don't tell me you already saw Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I'm like, yo, bro.
Yo, there's levels to this.
Bro!
There's levels to this, man.
Like, are you serious?
So this is the pushback that I got. You ready? The pushback that I got from that was, you already know about Starfield. Starfield's being talked about a lot. What are you talking about? Starfield's on all the timelines and everything. And it's like, yo, you got to remember, we live in an echo chamber, whether we want to believe it or not. Okay, so we don't have a good sense of what the outside public knows, of what the real, and I hate using this term, but the real casual gamer actually knows or whatever. Yeah. All I know is I made a video about this, right? I didn't even put words. It was just a video. I walked into Target, Nintendo section full of stuff. Even they didn't have like Bowser stuffed animals and everything, like just full of stuff. Yep. PlayStation section had a little bit more things, right? But they had some games, controllers, had a kiosk and everything. Now, you couldn't play the PlayStation, but it was there on display. When I went over to the Xbox section, barren, nothing. It was just a green wall, and what they had the most of were gift cards at the top. Xbox gift cards and Xbox game cards and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, the messaging is clear, right? That they want to go all digital, that they want to go play anywhere. The message is clear, and I'm not anti that message. I need people to understand it. Like, I'm okay with Xbox doing that. What I don't understand is if that's the route that they wanted to go, they could have done that. And if they knew that they weren't going to support the X that way, they could have just left the X out of it. Because I would have bought an S then at that point. If that's the case, then I would have bought an S. But I feel smooth. I feel dumb right now. Like, what is the X worth the extra $200? Do you know who's proving to me that the X is worth the $200? You, when you went and you bought games that are delisted. I watch your stuff too. But why does it take you to do that? Why does it take you to do that instead of Xbox promoting what you can do with the X? That's crazy to me. And even there, an extra $200, I don't know if those games are worth an extra $200 to be able to play those games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So again, what's the extra $200 that this console was giving me. If Baldur's Gate 3 would have been a perfect example. Hey, you know what? You pay the extra $200, you get to play this game on time. Even if it's not your type of game, you get to play it on time, though. You know? And then this whole, I don't know if you already spoke about the split screen and all that other stuff.
No, not in this podcast, not yet, but go ahead.
Oh, we gonna get banned, bro. They're gonna label us pony bots. You know that's the new word, right?
Yeah, pony bots or part-time bot. Like that's
oh, part-time bot.
Part-time bot.
That's what you need to call this episode, the part-time bot episode. Oh, that's funny, man.
So there's a lot of things you talked about that that I agree with, and then I just have differences of opinion, right?
Go ahead, hit me.
So the whole focus, like, because I know you got upset about, like, damn, I feel bamboozled out of the extra $200 because it's all about the Series S. My thing is, if Series S was the focus for Microsoft, now I don't know if you were around back, prior to the Series consoles coming out, right? But if the Series S was the focus, then that should have been the first console revealed. They revealed the Series X at the Game Awards. That little
I heard that.
Box,
I heard that. Yep.
And it was like if I was on somebody who was it the Iron Lords podcast that I watched this with, I screamed when after all the stuff was coming together and it showed in the box and it turned black to the Xbox. I screamed because I knew it was a next generation Xbox. I screamed. I've never been so freaking excited. I screamed so loud that my wife got pissed off at me. Right.
That's hilarious.
So, and the thing is, it's like, because for that whole, so from pretty much 2019 up until the Series S finally like leaked prematurely, which was like I think in August or September of 2020. All we knew was the X. The S was supposed to be a surprise, and the fact that they're making all these freaking concessions for the S, the thing is, I don't mind the S, right? I don't mind it if, and I think the problem is I'm spoiled by the first year during a cross-generation period where all the games that were coming out, like the Series S was like just keeping up, 60 FPS, 120 FPS, and then they had FPS boosts and stuff like that. So it's just like, this shit is, all right, good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is now is that like these complaints are, coming out like, oh, it's not enough memory and stuff like that. And you said something that stuck with me. You said, okay, well, why do I need these two? Where's Xbox got to show off their shit? And that's their first party team. And this is my beef with the first year of Xbox that I kind of had beef with. You got all these freaking studios. These should be like your frontline army men showing off like, yo, look what we did. Boom, boom. Like, we got this game, like, they're supposed to be the cream of the crop. Oh, you think the Series S can't do this? Yo, Coalition, show them. Yo, that's what's supposed to happen. That is supposed to happen. And the fact that it's not happening, right? And we're left with independent developers, AA developers and stuff saying, oh, well, we can't do this because we can't release this because we can't get it to work on the Series S. Now, my whole beef, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't give a fuck about split screen. I haven't played a split screen game. Matter of fact, the last multiplayer,
I think most people really don't.
Yeah. But it's a talking point. It's perception, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is my beef with the whole Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm telling you, I know for a fact I ain't gonna play this shit, right? But my whole beef with Baldur's Gate 3 is that, fuck, why do you need split? Like, dude, I get it. I get it, right? It's gonna come out on the PS5. It's coming out on, the PC. But if split screen is truly what's keeping this game of coming off Xbox Day 1, drop that motherfucker. Drop the shit. Like Halo, they said, all right, we dropped split screen. They still release the game. Forza, I'm not tripping about split screen because they still releasing the game. That's the beef I have, is the fact that if this is stopping you from releasing the game, like somebody's wrong. If Microsoft is saying that you can't release the game because all the other games are gonna have split screen, then they're fucking wrong, right? Yeah. But if you're deciding not to release the game because split screen, games launch broken and unfinished all the time. Patch that motherfucker in sometime next year. I don't care, right? If it's that important.
That's why that whole freaking paying for a game and as soon as it drops and all that stuff, especially this generation, we're looking real silly. I will argue that most of these games are better if you wait 6 months to a year to play them after they patch them all up and figure everything out. But here's the thing with that Baldur's Gate thing, right? Yeah, I agree with you. I don't really care about split screen either, but it's again what it represents, right? Because if they can get split screen to run on the PS5, they can get split screen to run on the Series X. So there's no one out there could convince me that the Series X can't do split screen on this if they could figure it out for the PS5. I do believe it's an S problem, and that's where I have the issue. So when they even mentioned that in the podcast yesterday, they were like, remove split screen from both consoles. I'm still against that. Like, don't take away a feature from me when my console and what I purchase can do it. Take it away from the people that bought the cheaper console. Okay. And I brought up Nintendo. Nintendo has a Nintendo Switch Lite. The Nintendo Switch Lite cannot play every Switch game.
Correct.
You can't play 1-2 Switch on the Nintendo Switch Lite, right? Unless you go ahead and buy another set of Joy-Cons, which at that point you might as well just buy a regular Switch because they're like $80 anyways. Plus you're gonna need a charging stand because you can't charge the Joy-Cons on the regular freaking Switch. So you might as well just buy a regular Switch. So if you buy a Switch Lite, there's games that you can't get. Nintendo's clearly showing like, hey, you're not gonna get console parity if you buy the cheaper option.
I got a solution.
It's still called a Switch. You know what I'm saying?
I got a solution.
All it is.
I got a solution. I got a solution. The Xbox has a solution. Xbox has a solution already.
What is it?
It's the same reason why it doesn't matter for them not making games for Xbox One no more. Cloud. If the shit can't play natively on a Series S, cloud stream that bitch as an option. Like, if you buy the game, it's yours. So if you're playing it on the X, you can play it on natively on the X. But if you want to play on the S, you just have to stream it. Just like Deathloop. Just like Deathloop. It's not available on the Xbox One. You own a game. Well, you can play it natively on the Series X and S, but if you want to play it on Xbox One or the One X, you can stream it. Problem solved.
Yep. I'm down with that
you
too.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I just can't see you.
Yo, what up, Addict? Addict, you know you got to turn the camera on and you better do the spin. That spin is my favorite. That spin is my favorite shit ever. I love it.
I can't because I have stuff on my TV that's not supposed to be there.
Oh man,
I can't be breaking NDA just to do a spin. All right.
Oh man, you got Starfield branded condoms?
Oh my God, no. Relax.
Don't worry, I did the spin for you.
There you go. Thank you. No,
what do you think about all this, Addict?
I've agreed with you guys for the most part. Now it comes into the marketing on Starfield. I'm a little in the middle with that because I do feel like I can't really speak on what they do and what they don't market because the places they would market this stuff, I'm not doing. Like on YouTube, I'm a premium member, so obviously I'm not gonna see any type of ads. I don't really mess with like Instagram or anything like that. I don't watch cable TV, so like I wouldn't see these places where they would be playing these at. Does that make sense? Like
yeah, you're in your own echo chamber. Like yeah.
And then when I made the statement, and I was like, well, you know, they're just not marketing it. There was a bunch of people that listen to ILP that what they did is they started like taking pictures of everywhere that it's being shown. Someone showed it to me at like a movie theater. Someone showed it to me on Instagram. Someone showed it to me like on the side of a building. There's a bunch of YouTube
Photoshop, fake news. Fake news. Ain't no outside of a building.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, you know, physically, but yeah. I live in West Virginia, so obviously I'm not. They're not marketing here. Okay?
Yeah,
that's messed up, yo. Addict act like he's from the town where people from the hills have eyes are from, like where there's just like barren, there's nothing there.
right. Now I'm curious to do that little experiment that Smooth did. I want to go to a few of my local GameStops and see if they have Starfield promoted. Well, I'm curious to see if they have it, because if GameStop doesn't have it, I remember when Tears of the Kingdom was coming out, Nintendo had the front window of GameStop. Yeah. The front window.
Yeah.
The entire front window was Zelda. The entire front window.
Let me call someone real quick, see if they give me permission to put them on speaker, and then 1 second.
All right. Cool. And now I can read the super chat from Nintendo the Otaku. He says it's not a Series S problem. It's a Larian problem. How is split screen running on a Steam Deck and PCs at lower spec, but not the Series S? Mems. What is hold on. You gotta help me out.
So they
Mims.
actually somebody actually went in and like backdoored that split screen on the Steam Deck, but split screen wasn't a feature on the Steam Deck. So I don't know what he's talking about, but whatever.
But the thing is, though, all right. So the game is playable on the Steam Deck, which I assume is also playable on this thing, right?
On the Asus ROG Ally,
Yeah,
it should
be, right? Because this is more powerful than the Steam Deck.
Correct.
Again, and I get what you're saying, Nintendo. I don't know who at this point. I think me and Doc, and especially Doc, is at a point where I don't care who fault it is. There's a problem, and it's stopping a game from getting to me on the platform I'm playing at.
Go ahead.
Here's my issue with the Series S thing. All right, now we clearly don't know if it's like a Series S issue, but at the same time, it's not a coincidence that anything with split screen isn't being shown.
Facts.
And on that keynote, when you look at something that's going on, such as what's that? What is it? They said that there was a couple co-op games that Forza doesn't have co-op on the launch. Like
no. They don't have split screen.
That's what I mean. Split screen. And you can't convince me that that's nothing to do with the Series S. You mean to tell me that Forza, Baldur's Gate, and I think there was one more game doesn't have a split screen? Oh,
Halo.
No. We can't. I already
launch.
debunked the whole Halo shit because reason why I stopped falling for the split screen problem is because 343 promised a split screen for Halo 5 Guardians, and it didn't make Halo 5 Guardians, and that's 2015. That's an Xbox One native game. And at that point, was split screen really a problem back then? Because they managed to do split screen perfectly with Master Chief Collection, which is running all 4 games in original form, and you can change graphics from original to remastered on the fly in the push of a button and still maintain the fidelity, and it's running perfectly with split screen. I feel
you, but those are older.
Nah, bro. No.
So this is where my voice of reason comes in. I'm tired of us defending Xbox. Xbox has to be the one to prove it to us. If Xbox first party studios could do split screen, then there is no question. It could be done, right? But they can't. If the Xbox first party studio can grab the Series X and have Redfall run at 60 frames, then that's it. It could be done. But this is what I believed in the beginning of the generation. I remember seeing all these Digital Foundry videos of almost every single game running better on the PS5 when it came to performance. I was like, what is going on, right? And finally, people explained to me like, hey, PS5 is the market leader. There's more of them out there. These developers are probably developing mostly for the PS5 and then just porting the game to the Xbox, right? And that makes sense. Like, okay, so the Xbox is just probably brute strengthening through it and just making it happen. And that's why it's a little bit of frames less, whatever. But then when I started seeing Xbox games coming from Xbox, what if they're developing for the S first and then doing the same thing, just putting it on the Xbox, the Series X, and having the X freaking hard charge through it or whatever, right? Okay. Like brute force through it. I would want to see a game that they develop for the X and then downgrade for the S, but I don't think that's happening. Yeah, I think it is happening the other way around.
There's a couple.
And
my bad, Doc. There's a couple ways. See, I think honestly, best case scenario the best case scenario for Xbox, and I don't think it's happening this way. The best case scenario for Xbox is they start from the baseline, and that's the Series S. You either want to start from if you start from the Series S and exploit, maximize whatever the Series S can do, which there's a lot it can do. And we have examples of games actually able to get muscle out of the Series S.
Hold on. And I feel you on that. But something is Baldur's Gate. You might not like that game. I love that fucking game. And if the Series S is stopping that because of split screen coming on the Series X, at that point, they didn't buy the higher end console. Now, I don't get to play a game if I didn't have a PC.
Facts!
All right.
Say it again, Addy. I'm going to give you a spin just for that.
I'm not refuting the whole claim. I'm just saying what I think on the development side is that I think the best case scenario is if they start with the Series S and then scale up, because you can always scale bigger, right, and get better from a base. It's hard to scale down. I think what's going on is the primary platform is either PlayStation, whatever, PC, whatever, and then they're trying to scale down to the Series S, and that's where they start coming into problems like, shit, I gotta cut this. Oh shit, I gotta cut that. Like, you know what I mean? If they're starting from the Series S, you'll get whatever you can get, and then you start realizing what you can add with the Series X and with the PS5. But what's going on, they're starting from whatever platform it is, whether it's PS5 or PC, and then it's time to get to the Series S, and they realize how many cuts they have to make. And they're like, well, fuck it, we're gonna have to just hold off the whole entire thing because there's this parity clause. I will say this: there shouldn't be a situation, because otherwise, this is Microsoft, perfect example of them shooting themselves in the foot, right? Yeah. You don't make the quote unquote world's most powerful console, and then you pretty much fucking, you shoot its legs off because you need those same games to run on the Series S. I understand having parity, but my parity between the Series S and Series X would be kind of like really loose if it was up to me. You know what I mean? It's like, because you kind of have a way. Xbox is just feels platform agnostic, right? Like, you can play whether you're on your Rogue Ally, your Series X, your computer and stuff like that. They can probably get away without having a game playable natively on a Series S. And that's where I think the problem is coming in. And I do feel like Xbox overall is approaching or treating this generation very poorly, from its shitty ass marketing, from its console production to its first party output.
I want to throw something out at you guys real quick. Just think about this, okay? I don't mean to sound doom and gloom or anything, but I really want you to think about this, okay? So now we have an example, like Addict said, of a game that I can't play on my Series X because it can't play on the Series S, right? You, Smooth, and you were correct when you said this. Phil is platform agnostic, right? No console required, played anywhere. I think all three of us know that cloud gaming is very important to Xbox. Very important, okay? What if somewhere in the near future, a game doesn't come out because they haven't figured out how to get it to run on the cloud yet? What if that's the road that we're going by? That it can run natively on the console. They haven't figured out how to make it run on the cloud, so we're going to wait so that our cloud gamers don't feel like they're left out. Because now this Samsung TV is being marketed as something where you can play Xbox games via the cloud. So what if a Xbox game that can't make it to the cloud, we can't drop it yet because we haven't figured out how to put it on the cloud?
Now,
is that a possibility?
It's not a possibility, but if it were,
it's not a possibility.
No, because in order for it has to be playable on a console to be playable on the cloud, because you're just streaming it at that point. All they need is a console. As long as it's playable on a console, theoretically, any game that's playable on the Xbox Series X, S, or 360 can be playable on the cloud. It's just streaming at that point.
Let me tell you what just happened to me today. I was on Twitch. It happened to me live on Twitch.
Okay.
I wanted to get 5 points to play Vampire Survivor. I've never played it, right?
Yep. So
I was like, let me go ahead and hop into xCloud real quick. I'm not even gonna dollar. Let me get these 5 points, okay? You've done that before, right? Just to get some points, right? Yeah. Easy 5 points. Why not, right? It literally told me, this is the first time I've ever seen it. I don't know if you guys use xCloud more than me. It literally said, waiting in queue, or lots of people using it right now, waiting in queue, 2-minute wait.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute, I've never seen this. The whole thing about the cloud is supposed to be that you jump in and all this other stuff. Vampire Survivor is small enough that I probably could have downloaded it faster than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Dez posted that on Twitter a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So now there's a queue for this, which means it's going up. The numbers of xCloud is going up. Whatever becomes their priority, I don't know how many xCloud servers and xBlades and all this other stuff they have, that's going to be a thing. The console gamer, for me, when it comes to Xbox, especially the Series X owner, I feel like a second-class citizen. And all I wanted is just, you should have let me know about that from the beginning, because then I would have probably just gotten an S and called it a day, and I would have been fine with that. I feel like I'm lied to. I don't see how this console right now is worth $200 more than the Series S. And when I say that, everybody calls me a pony bot and they get mad at me and all this other stuff, even though my PlayStation 5 is packed up in the closet right now.
Yeah.
But
Now,
I don't get it.
All right, here's the thing.
You know we're going to get killed for this podcast, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, though. I disagree.
Hey, Addict, you're by association, just so you know, brother.
I disagree with
My
the whole.
time been on YouTube. Man.
I feel like
I've been guilty by association because it's smooth the whole time I've been on YouTube.
I feel like the issue is right now is that the reason why I disagree with the whole like you don't feel like the Series X is worth that much more than the Series S. The thing is, the Series X in terms of game release is hitting its metrics outside of the Starfield Redfall 30 FPS shit, which I still don't know why Redfall that. I'll get onto that later. But I feel like the Xbox Series X is hitting its metrics when it gets the games.
I could tell you why Redfall is at 30 FPS on the X.
Why?
I know why.
Why?
Because they developed this game first for the S. So by the time they had to pay attention to how to make it run on the Series X, they just couldn't. So they're like, forget it, let's just release it. I guarantee you that's it. If it was only an X, that game would have been 60. There's no way they release a first-person shooter like that at 30 frames per second. That sounds crazy. There's a first-person shooter, first-party game by Xbox that runs at 30 frames per second. Now there's
Hold
about
it down,
to be two.
Doc. Hold it down, Doc. I gotta take this call. Hold it down right quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, go ahead. That's
no,
wild.
hold it down, you.
He's saying for us to carry.
To keep
this
talking.
show.
Yeah.
I feel you. I actually, when it comes to the Series S, it's not that I've been against the Series S. I just feel like if the Series S can't keep up with modern gaming, that's when I'm like, you're gonna have to cut it. Like, I get it. I have been told the Series S can handle a lot of these scenarios that isn't done. It's just that the devs are on a lot of a time crunch and they don't have the realistic time to go
to figure it out,
do stuff at a timely manner. Like most of the time, that's why you see these games that aren't 30 frames on Xbox Series S at first, and then magically a couple weeks to a couple months later, they got a 60
get patched.
patch.
Except for Redfall.
This could be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's just it takes more time, and a lot of the higher ups, the shareholders, they ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Oh, you mean it's just gonna run like shit, but we still gonna get paid? Yeah, send that. Send it.
Send it out.
Like,
Send it out. Yeah. Send it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these consoles are technologically advanced. Like I have no doubt just the way my Series X operates. I turn it on, it turns on, the menu is smooth. I can't even hear it. I was talking in one of my videos how my PS5 has coil whine. I don't care what anybody tells me. Like, I can hear it. You know what I mean? When I'm playing a game on my PS5 and I'm in an area, like, I can hear the engine speed up. And it's not like the PS4 Pro, but I can hear it. Like, these are things that you're not going to tell me doesn't happen, right? Evo just happened, right? The USBs were melting. People were posting videos of Final Fantasy shutting down PS5s. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a little bit of insight. That's King's topic for tomorrow's show.
Hey, it's a thing. It's a thing. People's PS5s have been shutting down. I've never seen one video of a Series S or a Series X saying too hot shutting down. I haven't seen that. So
it's
obviously,
not even saying too hot shutting down. It's like we just go burn your shit. We gonna melt it.
Yeah. But Final Fantasy, people's games were shutting down.
Yeah,
They're
they're
like,
shutting down.
Boom. They're just
Evo,
shutting
they
down.
have like the USBs are melting or something like that.
Right.
Like they can't.
And didn't Returnal shut down games too?
Yeah,
Returnal
Returnal was fucking up people's PS5s. That's what.
Yeah.
The thing is that
that's why King calls it an unstable box.
That's
and that's probably
hilarious,
why they're
an
coming out
unstable
with
box.
a remodel so fast. You know what I mean? To fix a couple of those inserts. I mean, the 360 had to do that. They had to come out with a new design.
They already changed the heatsink of the PS5. Yeah. Like, so clearly there's something. I don't know. But regardless, we have to throw some pony shit in there before they cancel us.
Yeah. No, but no, the Redfall thing that I'm still mad at, like Arcane. The thing is that what I don't want, and this is why you got to stay on your neck. I don't want them to because they like to say shit, right, and then be quiet for a while and just hope we forget about it. You know what I mean? Like the thing is, it's like I want Redfall. I want to play Redfall. I just and which is why I want to correct you on Redfall. I have a PC. And I think you have one too, right? Right.
Me?
Yeah.
No. I got a gaming laptop with a 1660 Ti.
okay.
Not even worth it. Yeah.
I tried playing Redfall on PC. My performance is horrendous. It sucks.
What do you got?
I got a 3070 Ti and a what is it? i7 900.
Oh, but you hitting 60.
I'm hitting 60 in other games.
Oh, you guys
Not in Redfall.
You're not hitting 60 in Redfall?
Yeah, I had the same problem with Ghostwire Tokyo. If anytime this shit rained, my frame rate was dropped to like 22 FPS, and I would have to, and no matter what I'm doing to the settings, right? Because
I actually like that game. Did you like that game?
I love Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I thought I slept on it obviously because I slept on it for a while because it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and I was like, and then somebody gifted it to me on PC, and I was like, all right, I played through it, but the thing is, it took me a while to beat it because the performance was so freaking inconsistent. And I was
it ran perfect on the X.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna wait for the shit to get out on Xbox, and I finally played it. I think I played it after I upgraded something in my PC, but it was still unstable as hell. But I finished it, like I think in January of this year. I was like, fuck it, I'll finish it. And then it came out on the Series X and the S, and I played it again, and then it beat it within like a couple of days on the X, and had a much better experience, which I knew I would. Which I knew I would have a better experience. That is the same thing happened to me. There was another game that I played where like the performance was a bit shoddy on PC, and then I was like, if I'm at least when I play on console, if it's gonna be lower frame rate, it's gonna at least be considered. It wasn't Deathloop. I only played Deathloop on PS5, and then when it came to Xbox, I played it, but I didn't like Deathloop enough to replay it, and that was the problem. It's like I beat it on PS5. And I played a little bit on Xbox. And I was like, you know what? I'm not really in the mood to like play through this game again. But Ghostwire I played through twice, no problem.
Yeah, I like Ghostwire. Yeah. I beat it on hard. I really liked it. Addict, what type of PC you got?
Addict, you there? I know he
Addict, hello.
But
because here's my question to you, Smooth. So you got a PC with a 3070, which most people would argue is more powerful than your Series X.
Yeah, it's a handicapped GPU though. Don't get caught up in the name. The RTX 30 series, the 3070 and the 3070 Ti are the most retarded graphic cards you can possibly get, and they're quickly bottlenecked because they don't have enough. Just like the Series S, they don't have enough fucking VRAM. In this case, it's like these are like 8 gigabyte cards, and you can't game at 4K. With those, so inherently you wouldn't automatically be like, I'm gonna play the game on PC. Yeah, I thought that's what I thought I was gonna do with Redfall. So reason why I was like, all right, fuck it, unfortunately I can't play it on Xbox. I'm gonna play that bitch on PC. Play it on PC, like, what the fuck is going on, dog? I was still getting a whole long ass texture loading problem that they were getting on the console. I was like, nigga, what am I playing on?
Okay.
So it was still the same problem, and I was like, yo, if I got to deal with this, I might as well just play it on Xbox.
Okay, because they're making it seem to me like if I get a PC, all my problems are gone.
Unless
you know what I mean?
No. The PC gaming is the biggest lie, because people assume that just because you have a PC, you're just playing everything at best possible. Everything's like just the best case scenario, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like sure, if you have like a if you have like a
4090,
80 or 4090, you shouldn't be having problems, but it still have problems depending on gaming. Just like Unreal Engine 4 games are just like questionable on PC in general. But if you have like, I'm pretty sure if I upgraded my CPU and if I upgraded my GPU to have something like to a 16 gig or 12 gigabyte card or whatever, I would have a better experience in most cases, because I have enough regular RAM. I have 32 gig of RAM. I don't know why I have any problems gaming on PC. Like, I don't know. But it's not perfect, and that's why I pick and choose what games. All right, I'm gonna dive in this on PC. I'll dive in this on Xbox, and this game could come out for both console and PC. PC would never be my number one option for all games. Like if it's something that I just fucking can't play on console, or like for example, like if I have a better experience,
that's good to know,
with Starfield on PC versus console, right? Let's say I can't, and I'm telling you right now, I don't care what nobody said, Starfield is not going to be this magnificent 60 FPS on PC. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They might.
What are you leaning towards, though? What are you leaning towards as far as where you're going to play Starfield on?
I'm going to pre-install it on both. This is my test. I'll pre-install on both. I'll play. I'll start it. I already know that it's going to be 30 FPS on Xbox, right?
It is, right?
I already know that. So I'm gonna download it on PC, and I'm gonna play for like maybe 30, 40 minutes. And if I have a consistent performance at 60 FPS, at like if I can do that in Starfield at hopefully 1440p, because I don't want to settle for 1080p, because the Xbox is gonna be higher than 1080p. It's gonna be like a dynamic 4K, right?
4K 30 on the X and 1440p on the S, right?
Yeah. So the thing is that I don't. So I'm hoping I don't want to settle for just 1080p to get 60 FPS. So I'm gonna try to do 1440p, and if I get 60 FPS at 1440p at, let's say, Xbox Series settings, that would be high. That should be high or medium.
Yeah.
I might stick to PC. I might stick to PC unless it starts crashing my PC like Spider-Man did. So Spider-Man used to crash my PC all the fucking time. And if that's the case, then I'll stick with PC. Now, if it's an experience that I had with Redfall and Ghostwire Tokyo, then I'll just play it on the Xbox and just have it consistent and have it consistent. Because I'd rather, if I gotta settle for 30 FPS, as long as it's consistent, it's one thing to be like, oh, I can reach 80 FPS, but I constantly have to go to like fucking 30 and 40 in the process, and it's never stable. That sucks. It's worse than playing at a lower frame rate. It's worse than playing, and that's why I say it literally stopped me from having a consistent playthrough on Ghostwire Tokyo when it first came out, because I had been playing Ghostwire Tokyo, I kid you not, for like a year, and I didn't beat, and it wasn't because it was hard. It was like, yo, this performance sucks.
Yeah.
And so, and I was like, damn, I should just play this shit on PlayStation, but I was on my boycott. And I was like, fuck it, I'll finish this shit on Xbox. I'll fight through it on PC. And then when it came to Xbox, as expected, I had a much better experience. It was just more consistent.
So now, since we're already talking about Starfield, I feel like because of everything that's been going on with Xbox and because of how much hype a lot of the Xbox community has been given this game, I feel like this game has a unjust pressure on it. And it's almost like in a few days, what is it, 25 days that we got left or whatever it is?
Yeah, I think it's less than that, but yeah.
In a few days, if this game is what it's touted to be, all woes and all problems go away. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's about gaming, right? It's about the games, and everyone will be happy and will be playing the most magnificent game ever. But if this game misses, oh man, Smooth, if this game misses, what else do we have to look forward to with the Xbox brand if this game doesn't deliver on all cylinders? That's what terrifies me.
And that's good reason. Here's the problem. This is why I keep going back to Redfall. If Redfall did what it was supposed to do, if Redfall did what it was supposed to be, just be a little mid-80s game, run at 60 FPS, and be decent, Starfield is sitting pretty, then some of the pressure comes off because we know, all right, Starfield's probably going to be better. You know, obviously we know Starfield's going to be better. Right. So Redfall needed to either do what it's supposed to do or be a big surprise, like Hi-Fi Rush was. Like, oh, it's better than I expected, right?
Think about it. Hi-Fi Rush, Redfall was going to hold us on to up to Starfield. Oh my God, it would have been crazy.
And because it was such the complete opposite, it's like fuck. Now Starfield has to, and now it has to be good. It has to be, and not only does it have to be good. All right, well, people, and this is why I get stressed out. And feel free to interrupt because I can ramble.
No, you're good. I agree with you. People get mad at me too. They're like, it doesn't have to be great. It just has to be good. No. This got to be great. Y'all been saying it was gonna be great. It better be great. Yeah.
People forget what 2022. What did we get? That was just last year.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
We got nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And that's the second full year of a new generation. Nothing. And mind you, all the games that's coming out this year were supposed to come out in 2022.
Facts.
So I'm bugging like, damn, what the fuck was supposed to come out in 2023?
Well, we about to get canceled. Oh my God. So, my channel's not big enough. I'm not going to survive this.
Starfield, what people don't understand is because Halo came and went and because people don't give Halo the credit it deserves or play it's not, oh, Halo's dead. Starfield is now, it has to be the Halo.
But that's what's crazy because I heard you talk about that too. Somebody on the podcast when I was with them yesterday on Biscuit for the Biscuit, they were saying like, "Are you happy with all the new things that's happening with Halo, all this other stuff?" Right? And I was honest with them. I was like, I never uninstalled Halo. I've been playing Halo since it dropped, like consistently.
Yeah.
I enjoy Halo Infinite. I don't know what is this. Oh, Halo sucks, isn't it? Like, yo, I enjoy Halo Infinite tremendously, and now I got my son, that my youngest son, which is 8 years old. He plays with me.
Oh,
and we
yo,
play ranked doubles.
my
Bro.
son 10, he be playing. He's doing a good job. Shout out to my son.
Yeah,
Mason,
bro. We play ranked doubles, man. We be going in, and I'm enjoying Halo. So all this, they finally fixed it. It's finally good. I'm like, man, it's been good. You mentioned something earlier too. Before I hopped in, you said player count doesn't mean that a game is good. My man, you speaking so much facts. You speaking so much facts, bro. You speaking so much facts. It's about when you jump in the game and you play it, you find enjoyment out of it. And to me, Halo Infinite has been phenomenal. All I play when it comes to those types of games, I play Halo Infinite and Apex Legends and Roblox. That's it.
Yo, Doc, you know what's crazy about you? I envy you so much because when you joined the Xbox community gaming, I'm like, damn, he's about to have because all he's been hearing is Xbox ain't got no game stuff, and this man is on a marathon. Doc Dark had the Kurt Angle rookie year in the gaming community. You know what I'm talking about? When Kurt Angle came to the WWF, bro, he went from King of the Ring in his first year, won the King of the Ring, then won the championship, and I was like, yo, he's the Kurt Angle of the fucking Xbox community, yo. That's crazy.
That is one thing I could say about the Series X. That's what I described the Series X as the best Xbox overall. That's the best Xbox because I've been able to experience. My man, in this generation, I experienced Ninja Gaiden, I experienced Fable, I experienced all the Halos, all the Gears, Rise of the Rome, Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, all just back to back to back. Like just as soon as I was done with a game, another banger. All FPS boosted. I just finished Titanfall 2 at 120 frames per second.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. Titanfall 2
was a dope-ass campaign.
Oh, my God. That game was amazing, right? So I'm just like, and today I actually just finished Midnight Fight Express. Hey, anybody that's out there is about to leave Game Pass. It's just don't sleep on it. It's actually fun. I had a lot of fun playing it. But I'm loving my Xbox. So that's why I have like a love-hate relationship right now because this is the most I have gamed since I was like in middle school, man. Like I'm having a blast playing all different types of games too, because before I would only play first person shooters and over the shoulder third person games, you know, the big action games, the typical pony type of game, you know. So yeah, the template, right, bow and arrow, you know, sad story, all that stuff. But now I'm playing everything. I'm trying everything. Like someone told me to try Recore. I tried Recore. I loved Recore. So again, if you didn't like it, that's on you. But I got to play upscaled 4K 60 frames. I'm telling you, I'm having like
you got to play the best version. That's the problem. I beat that shit. I had to struggle 30 FPS. That's when I beat that shit. Like you played the pristine version.
Yes.
Like
yes. I beat Red Dead Redemption this generation. The first one. Not the one that's about to drop.
You did. You played early access to the one, the definitive.
That's about to drop. That's right. I got to play it. That's right.
For a lot less.
Right.
Hold on one moment, Dirk. I'm gonna need you to hold down the chat. I gotta like this girl for my wife, man. I need you to hold down the chat for me.
Go ahead. So what's up, chat? Damn. We popping right now. Okay, hey, make sure y'all hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. Look, man, I saw Smooth go live. Smooth freaking just I was in the chat. He invited me. I got some time today. I said, let's do it. Because right now, when it comes to calling out Xbox, it's only me and him. And we're doing it from a place of love. That's what you guys got to understand. We're not doing this from we're going to go with PlayStation route or anything like that. Like, nah, we're doing it from a place of love. And y'all should understand that. Listen, if you are out there and you purchased the Series X, you know how this feels right now. Don't lie. Don't lie to yourself. The Series S is the main console, and all I'm saying is, if that was the case, it should have been the case from the beginning, and then everything would have been cool, you know? They literally promoted their biggest game. Their biggest game right now is being promoted with no console required. I need you to understand that. Their biggest game is being promoted with no console required. If it's a situation where it's like, hey, you play however you want, that's one thing. But there's got to be, in my opinion, there should be perks to whatever way you choose to play. What's the perk of playing with no console? You just playing it on the cloud. You don't got to buy extra hardware, all that other stuff. What's the perk to playing it on PC? You can play it however you want, as strong as you want, as weak as you want, whatever, because you're playing on PC. What's the perk to playing that on the Series S? You get to play the bare bone version of that game. That's a nice perk. What's the perk of playing on the Series X? You get the pristine console version of that game. And the pristine console version of that game right now, when it comes to Starfield, as of right now, we'll see if it's different when it drops, is a difference between 1440p and 4K. And they're not even promoting it on the freaking Series X. None of y'all have a problem with that? None of y'all have a problem with that? I do. So that's where this is coming from, guys. This is not coming from a place of switching over to Sony or anything like that. First of all, they don't pay enough over there. Trust me, man. My Xbox checks are nice. Only problem is, they've been slacking lately because they hear me talking reckless. We get penalties and stuff, but it is what it is. I'm trying to get on that Addict and Smooth paywall from Phil. Yo, Phil, I know you're watching this right now, dog. You know me, Phil. Don't play with my checks, all right? But y'all know what it is. Let me see what we got in here. I'm gonna let Smooth read the super chats. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see some of y'all agree. Yeah, no console required, but a TV that costs $2K. Yeah, but R.L. Stein, that TV is gonna do a lot more. That TV already is gonna have Netflix, Hulu, all that other stuff. So yeah, what's the point? If you're gonna buy Xbox Series X, you're probably buying a nice TV anyway. So that's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? But it is, man, it is what it is. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. The XWO, I like that. I see that. We can call ourselves the XWO. Xbox World Order. Oh, that's dope. Oh, snap. That's crazy, man. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But no one is supposed to be here to save Xbox, guys. This is something that Xbox has to do. Think about it like this. The first party games right now, the two first party games that are coming out is Redfall, right? And now Starfield. Starfield's got to hit perfect, man. If you're going to tell me that the reason that Starfield's running at 30 frames is because you could collect sandwiches, okay, you better make collecting sandwiches the best thing I've ever done. The best thing I've ever done. I'm telling you right now, but it'll be the best thing I've ever done. And you know what? I enjoyed Deathloop, right? Which is Bethesda. I know some of you did not enjoy it. I enjoyed Ghostwire Tokyo, which is Bethesda. I know some of you probably didn't enjoy that either. I enjoyed Fallout 3. Somebody told me, hey, you got to play Fallout 3. I thought Fallout 3 was phenomenal, okay? People are telling me I should play Fallout 4. I haven't played it yet. But just with those 3 games there that I played from Bethesda, and I played the first Doom as well, which I think, is that Bethesda as well? Or ID Interactive? I don't remember who made that. But regardless, I played some Bethesda game, and right now, today, I actually started Dishonored. And so far, I'm hooked, right? So, I see the caliber of studio that Bethesda is. So, I have faith that they could deliver something amazing. I just don't like that pressure on Starfield is what it is right now. I think like it's almost unfair the amount of pressure that they're getting. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing, That's the only thing. Emmanuel said Xbox has Netflix and Hulu. Yeah, but what I'm saying, Emmanuel, if you buy a $2,000 TV and then you buy an Xbox, right? That's $2,000 plus a $500 TV when you could just get that same experience without purchasing the console. That to me is a problem. There should be an incentive to buying that $500 console, and there's not right now, Emmanuel. How do you guys not understand it? Do you guys really not understand what I'm saying? No console required. So why did you sell me a console? Let's keep it that simple. No console required. Why did you sell me a premium console? Answer that question. No console required. Why did you sell me a premium console? Go ahead, I'll wait. You should have just sold the S. This generation, you should have just sold the S. You should have just sold the S. And if you wanted to play the Xbox game the best way possible, they should have been saying the same thing the ponies have been saying. Buy yourself a powerful PC. Do you know how much it stings when you hear a pony narrative that's right? When the ponies are the most simple-minded people I've ever met? remember, the Xbox has no games comes from ponies. Even though when you look at the statistic, they mostly play multi-plats anyways. You understand that, right? So it sucks when they have a narrative that actually is true. Because this generation, them boys have been moving goalposts like crazy. First, it was Xbox has no games. Then Xbox has no games that are AAA. Then Xbox has no games that are first party. Then Xbox has no games that are organic, right? Because whenever you mention games, then they got to talk about all this other stuff, right? But this narrative right here, you don't need an Xbox. You should get a powerful PC if you want to play the best version of the game. That's true. That's true. Now, another narrative that they had to move because they look pretty dumb is that you need a PS5 to play, their games. No, all they have is time exclusivity. We know every single game is going to PC. They've dropped their biggest franchise on PC. So now but you see, that narrative doesn't sound good to the ponies. They know they sound dumb when they say things like, you need a PS5 if you want to play this game as soon as it comes out, time exclusive. They know it sounds crazy. So that's why they don't do stuff like that. But this one narrative does sound, they're right. What's the need for the Series X? What's the need for the Series X? The other narrative that they have wrong is that the Series S is holding back gaming. I don't think the Series S is holding back gaming as a whole, but as of right now, it looks like it is holding back the X. Guys, we literally have a game that's not coming out because the developer said they can't get split screen to run on the Series S. Not the X, the S. That's a problem. Okay? So, when you hear me and Smooth and we're making these videos and all this other stuff, like, don't get mad at us, bro. Don't get mad at us. All we're doing is calling out what we see that needs to be called out, and it is what it is. Don't get it twisted. My Xbox gets turned on every single game. I'm still gaming every single game, and I'm enjoying gaming on my Xbox. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be quiet when I see the BS. You guys tell me what happens with if Starfield doesn't do what it's supposed to do. I'm curious. I'll look at the chat. What happens if Starfield doesn't do what it's supposed to do? Come on. What happens? You want Xbox to be like the what? Like the 360 era? I wish I could relate, but I don't know. Doc, so is there not gonna be a Pro Series X? What? Whoa. Did Smooth talk about that at all? I want to make a video about that. But whoa. Why would they make a Pro Series X when everything has to run on the S? What?
My bad.
Why would they make a Pro Series X? Oh no, you good. This just got hot. Somebody said they're not going to be a Pro Series X.
Hold on.
What do you think about that?
Before I get into that, dude, we shout out to Blue J, $2. He said you need to get Hard 8 on here. He said you need to get Hard 8 on here. Smooth, y'all funny. Glad to see pony bots holding each other down. Emmanuel says for $5. Oh man, my bad, guys. But what was the issue?
You got the super chats?
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned the Xbox Series X Pro. What do you think about something like that?
Doc, to be honest, man, I don't think any of that shit is necessary because these consoles, I don't feel like I got anything out of my Series X, my S, or damn my PS5. I don't feel like I got anything that says,
exactly.
Boom. We still getting native Xbox One and PS4 games. So why do I... Exactly. Why would, especially for Xbox, when we know the Series S matters, why would you make an even more powerful console that's not going to be used? Yeah. And they're releasing a more expensive Series S in 2 weeks. The black 1 terabyte Series S for $350. Which honestly, that one makes a lot more sense. Mm-hmm. That one makes a lot more sense, man. The only thing I like about it doesn't solve the problems. Right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't solve the problems. It's just like, all right, you can fit more games on it natively. It just makes it clear that the S is there's 3 different SKUs. For, you got 2 S's and 1 X. They were saying about making an X digital, but that's like for what? I mean, I can see where they can. It'll make it slightly smaller and it's just more so. The Series S and the Series X, what it should have been, it should have just been 2 Series X, a digital only Series X, with maybe, and all you do is remove the disk drive and you like lower the hard drive space maybe, and then, but therefore then you would have been better equipped to compete
Right.
with PlayStation on like performance, and you won't have to worry about those like random bottlenecks. But I understand what they were trying to do with the Series S, and like again for the early parts, first couple of years, it was like okay, they're doing it, because like I said, we've had instances. Like I said, there are games that are running 120 FPS and 60
Smooth.
FPS.
How long you been doing this for, bro?
What, the podcast?
This YouTube stuff. How long you been doing this stuff?
Oh, well, gaming 2014, March 2014 is when I launched like my first gaming channel, video on this channel.
Okay, because I get a headache when I see comments like this. So I'm going to ask you this question because you've been doing this way longer than I have. Okay?
Sure.
Somebody said the generation hasn't even started yet. What does that mean?
That means I get, all right. I get what they're saying.
Explain it to me, please, because they're like, calm down. The generation hasn't even started yet. What does that mean?
It means that we essentially pretty much haven't tapped into the era of PS5 and the Series X and S. It's
Do
weird
you
now
agree
because
with that, or where am I missing?
I'm going to say from a technical perspective, I agree, but from where we're at in reality, I disagree because it's 2023. These consoles came out in 2020.
Been 3 years.
It's been 3 years, and like at least the PS5 has a healthy amount of, or perceived to be a healthy amount of PS5 only games.
This is why this concept to me doesn't make any sense. So maybe you can help me understand this, okay? By that logic, by what that person said, who was that? Lil sad boy, okay? By that logic, that means that these consoles, since the generation hasn't started yet, are running PS4 and Xbox One games. Or games that were developed primarily, or maybe started in development for the PS4 and Xbox One games, which is fine if that's the case. But if that's the case, and we have stronger hardware, then logically I would assume that all these games would then be at 60 frames, right? But if they're having problems running those games are only going to get bigger. Games are only going to look better. Games are only going to increase in every amount possible, right? So are we saying that games are going to run better in the future? So will there be, as let's say 2025, will every single game be at 60 frames per second? Is that what this means once we get into the generation? Or are the games going to run worse? Because it doesn't make any sense to me then at that point. It's not like when it's a different generation, and it's a completely different hardware, like when you're going from the Nintendo 64 to the GameCube. That makes sense, right? Because it's completely different architecture, completely different hardware, everything's completely different. Or you're going from the Wii U to the Switch, right? Completely different hardware, completely different. Right now, all these are machines that are better than the previous machines. So are games going to get better or worse? I would like to know that, because that to me doesn't make sense, that we're not in the next generation yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the next generation, man. There's no ifs or what's about it. We're there. It's just right now some people are just living in denial. But hold on 1 second.
I don't know what happened to Addict. Addict is still in here though. Yeah, that stuff is wild. Hey, but I appreciate you, little sad boy Blue. I appreciate you. Sean T said, we haven't gotten a first party AAA game that has launch features complete on the Series X and X only. And whose fault is that?
My bad.
Here's another one. Does this comment explain it better? This one's from Sean T. He said, we haven't gotten a first-party AAA game that has launched features complete on the Series S and X only.
That's true. But
isn't Starfield that?
It will be the
Xbox
first
One, right?
Yeah. So just start. Well, actually, no. Redfall was the first one. So no. Oh, Hi-Fi Rush.
Sean T. Redfall was the first one. Sean T. And it runs at 30.
Yeah. So technically, no. All right. So the first party native exclusive Series X and S exclusive that came out that didn't involve last gen was Flight Simulator. That came out in 2021. That was the only like game from Microsoft or from Xbox that was X and S exclusive. And then obviously Hi-Fi Rush, believe it or not, it's not a demanding game. It didn't come out on the Xbox One. It's not available. You can only stream it. It's only playable on the Series X and S. And
it didn't come out on
PC.
Xbox One?
Mm-mm.
I did not know that.
Okay.
And they didn't make a physical copy of it either, right?
Didn't make a physical copy of it.
How do you feel about that, Smooth? Are you a physical copy kind of guy?
Yes and no. Mostly no. Majority of my games are digital. I have a digital library that is probably around like 700 games, right?
Jesus. Okay.
And that's what I said. That's why it took me a while for Game Pass to like make sense for me. But I'm starting to see where
you say Game Pass doesn't make sense for you.
No, so when the Game Pass first came out, it wasn't a big deal to me until honestly 20. So it was a big. I did have it because it was a big deal when Gears obviously came out, Gears 5 and stuff like that. But it became a bigger deal in like 2020, 2021 because now I was in a territory where majority of the games that were launching in it I didn't have.
Oh,
and
okay.
all those day one did. It was like, oh, okay, well, yeah. Now
Makes
to
sense.
the point where I just completely I stopped buying fucking games.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, what
that's really interesting. So you're not one of those because you've been gaming for a while, but you're not one of those that's like, I need to own the game. If you don't own the
because
game,
what happened was I was a minority, so I was one of the ones that was in full support of the Xbox One original direction.
Oh, okay.
The Don Matrick direction.
Yeah.
I was in full support. So, because the thing is,
DRM and all that stuff.
We already deal with that shit right now. All consoles,
it
it wasn't a big enough deal, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a big enough deal where it caused outrage to the point where we're literally willfully involved in all that stuff with almost everything we have now. Any digital media, we're to the point where we literally let Netflix take away our rights to share our account with our friends by giving our password and login.
Yeah.
Like, we're not allowed, like, that's crazy. You got to pay for that now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, I was down with that original cause. So the thing is, because here's what happened. Late in the 360 generation, I was so enamored with the Xbox 360. I was like, damn, I wish all my games was just digital, right? Because all the games didn't launch digitally immediately. You had to wait before they launched digitally.
Oh,
it wasn't always day one. It was late into the 360 generation where games would go on the Xbox store where you download. It might have been at the start of Xbox One. So when the Xbox One came out, I went out and I bought a couple games, right? And then I was like, oh, I can just buy all these games on my console. And I could just play them. I don't have to put in the disc for every game I want to play at the time because during lunch week, I'm just trying a bunch of games. So I bought like 3 games, and then the next day I think I traded them all in. I just rebought them all digital, and then from there, from the Xbox One generation, I just bought all my games digital.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a mistake because I bought a lot of Maddens too, and Lives all digital too. They made no fucking sense.
Damn, because you didn't trade those back in. Yeah,
because you can't trade those back in. But now I'm at a point where, for example, there are like before PlayStation got the Spider-Man license, Activision used to have all the Marvel license. So every Marvel game that came out literally from like 2010 to like 2014 is all published by Activision Games. And a lot of those games are backwards compatible. Problem is you can't buy them because they're all delisted. Since they lost licenses, all those games delisted and the value of them went up.
That's why you were showing that Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, like,
the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it's not that I went because I thought it was a good game. It was just damn. No. So
Yeah.
But so that's where it's like, all right, I now have to capture some of these games. Like, and if a licensed game come out, best case scenario is to buy that shit physical. In the event it gets delisted in Forza games, you're better off buying them physical.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Sure, play it on Game Pass, but if you like it, still buy it. Physical in the event, like if you didn't, just in case it did, especially if you didn't buy it from Game Pass. Because once it's delisted is delisted. Like Forza 7.
What about games with music? So like the next Grand Theft Auto 6 or something like that.
Well, Grand Theft Auto's different, right? Because with their licenses, they buy them. I'm assuming they buy out some sort of permanent or lifetime license.
For life?
They buy out something to the point where it doesn't impact their game's shelf life.
Okay.
Forza's, I'm gonna give you a heads up now. Forza, no matter how great Forza is, their shelf life is about 3 years.
Okay.
I think Forza 7 got delisted in 2020 or in 2021. Forza 7, that came out in 2017. Forza, the next Forza games that are about to be delisted are going to be, I think, Forza Horizon 3 and maybe Forza Horizon 4.
Why do they delist them? License for the cars or what?
Cars,
Okay.
music. They just have a short lifespan, so that they hold their value. But those are Forza games that are still best. Buy them and hold on to them.
Yeah.
Because you could end up reselling them for like, in some cases, it could be like $200. And that's why when games becomes backwards compatible for an Xbox Series, that's why a lot of these games, old games like 360 and Xbox One games, have a higher value than their PlayStation counterparts. Is because you can still play them even if you don't have the system. Like when 50 Cent got backwards compatible with FPS Boost, shit went up to $100.
I heard what, something in the sand. What's the name of the game?
Yeah, Blood in the Sand.
Yeah, people were loving it. Yeah.
You can't anything where you see it on sale, unless you go into a mom and pop store that people don't know nothing what's going on.
Yeah, you can't get that game.
You ain't get that game no less than $80.
Yeah, and people were liking it too. They're like,
it was actually a dope game. You know what I mean? It was a dope game. But yeah, they hold their value. But here's the thing. Before I left, we were talking about how important Starfield is.
Yes.
We were talking about how important Starfield is and what it needs to be. And I'm gonna tell you a couple of things again. Please interrupt me if necessary. Of why my disappointment in Starfield, because I'm looking at it.
Oh, stop! You're already disappointed?
Not that I'm disappointed in Starfield. I'm disappointed in the handling of it.
Okay.
Because again, Halo it now has to be the Halo. It's gotta.
That's crazy, yeah.
There's so much riding on this game, and and it's like it has to meet those expectations. Now think about it. You see all the hoopla going on with like Baldur's Gate, right? All these players on PC, people talking about 97 Metacritic, right?
Yep. Everybody's liking it.
Everybody's liking it. Starfield can do that, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it could do much better. Imagine this, right? Imagine this. Because people think, oh, because of everything's all about Game Pass, you don't need to do this. Because your game's platform agnostic, you don't need this. I'm gonna tell you this, right? Imagine this. Microsoft and all their trillions and billions of dollars, right? Phil Spencer and Todd Howard, good friends, finally acquired your best friend, and he's bringing his biggest game in 25 years to your box, handed it to you. Your platform, right? It's literally the equivalent of having Elder Scrolls Skyrim as an exclusive. That's right. Like, who would not want to be in that position, right?
Right, sandwiches and all.
Yeah. So my thing is, it's like, wouldn't it be best? Like, okay, Starfield is the de facto game. I'm needing this. This is what Starfield literally needs to do. Starfield has to be the best rated Xbox game. It has to be the Xbox game that gets nominated for Game of the Year. It has to help Game Pass subscriptions. And it also has to be one of the best selling Xbox games. And even though they say they don't care about consoles, why are you making them? It has to sell Xbox consoles. So
and it's gotta be the best looking game on the Xbox.
Yes. So my thing is, right? Let's say the game is the game. I think the game's going to be good. I think the game is going to do what it do in terms of critically, right? It's the commercial part that I'm worried about. If you're effective marketing, right? PlayStation, when they market their games, they go all out. They put it in your face and make you want to play it, to the point where people who aren't quote unquote gamers jump into their games, like, just to say, oh, I'm playing it. You know, it's that popularity thing, the fear of missing out, right? Yeah. It's okay to do that with Starfield, because if it's that game, if it's the Skyrim, right? Yeah. Why not put your marketing dollars behind it? Like I told you, like in my last video, I said, when I turn on my Xbox, right, all I should see outside of my games on my dashboard is Starfield. Pre-order now, pre-download now, pre-install. That's all it should be. When I walk into GameStop, I should see a giant ass spaceship.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When I walk into Best Buy, I should see. When I go and see the Ninja Turtle movies, whatever movie theater, I better see a Starfield trailer playing before the movie starts. Football preseason football is on right now, right? I should be seeing Starfield commercials. Because if you do that, right, it's one thing, the gamers know about the game, right? But it's still okay to try to reach out to the casuals because at the end of the day, by effectively marketing Starfield, you can A, have a #1 seller, you can B, have massive immediate Game Pass growth, because like, oh, it's on Game Pass, boom, 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 boom. You can have C, you can have the Baldur's Gate effect, have the #1 game played on Steam, 800,000 plus. Like, this game's supposed to be that big. People don't understand how big this game's supposed to be. And then, massive. If it's that big, right, guess what naturally happens? Because there's only really 2 ways into Game Pass. Console or PC. Sell the fucking box. The first advertisement shouldn't be no console required. I understand they're pushing that on Samsung. Samsung is happy that you can have console access to games without the box. I get it. But I should see Starfield Xbox Series X commercials.
Xbox Series X commercials,
yes.
Correct.
Xbox
Series X Starfield Edition.
Yeah, yes. Like, and why wouldn't you do that to take advantage? They literally, if they market the game, they sell 5 things because of this game. You sell a console, they sell Game Pass, they sell the game. And
this game has the potential to kill that one narrative. Yeah. The Game Pass fodder narrative has the potential to kill that. Like, you're not gonna be saying that anymore if this game hits like it's supposed to hit. Yeah. It's gonna be a lie to what Jim Ryan said about we can't put big AAA games day and day. It's gonna be a lot. Like, it'll do so much. So I hear you.
So I'm just trying to catch
a few days and we'll find out, bro. A few days and we'll find out.
I'm just trying to figure out what they're trying to do. What are they? I don't understand. And someone in the chat, since we're wrong for thinking that they should be marketing the game. What are they? I don't understand what they're trying to do, because Xbox, there's nothing Xbox has done that they prove it. Like, I get it. That was smart. No, they haven't proven to me that they know what they're doing. And I feel like they have this huge bag of money that they're fumbling and they're about to just let go to waste. Nintendo the Otaku says for $10, how do you know they haven't already seen that type of marketing? Wait, let me read this slowly. How do you know they haven't already seen that type of marketing doesn't equate to big enough boost in sales? Look at BG3. No traditional marketing and already looking to outsold Final Fantasy 16 already.
Bro, Baldur's Gate, this is Baldur's Gate 3, not Baldur's Gate 1, 2. This is Baldur's Gate 3. So they already has a fan base. It's mostly on PC anyways. Like, this game, people already knew about this game. Like, what are you talking about? See, when people say stuff like that, I don't get it. I'm sure you wanted to respond to it as well, but I just thought it's like, it's a Baldur's Gate 3, right? It's the 3rd installment of the game, so it already has a fan base behind it. And now that people are saying, yeah, it's good, of course it's gonna go. And you don't think that the news from, remember, every news is promotion, right? So you don't think the whole thing that's been having not coming to Xbox, you think that's not some type of engagement? The same thing. What was that other game that people were destroying that they said they couldn't run on the Xbox as well? It was a fun error. Quantum Error. Quantum Error too. Yeah, no one knew about that game until they said something negative about Xbox, and that stuff blew up too. And right? So
that's marketing. That's marketing. Even though they had no traditional marketing, they had a couple things riding on them. They were at the PlayStation Showcase to premiere the game, and 2, the developers they talk a lot, and in Slow News Week, them talking, they're catching articles, videos are being made. And then, the game hits, is being received positively, and now they're getting the word of mouth. And seeing, highest rated game on Metacritic. So now people are like, I gotta play it. I gotta play that, right? So, and it's obviously now impacting, like, PlayStation is, like, I think #1 pre-order on PlayStation now. And so they found ways to get in the news. And again, they didn't need much marketing because it's the 3rd game in the series, and it's from the developers that made another pretty awesome game, the Divinity of Sin.
Divinity
games.
Yeah.
So I understand
it's not the
that
same. This is a brand new IP.
Yeah,
you have to promote a brand new IP. This is different. Yeah.
I
agree.
It's just they just need them, and Not for Starfield, but Xbox need the marketing. The thing is, Xbox is losing out on like mind share. They need to be in people's faces and stuff like that. Like, and I don't feel like they're doing that properly. Emmanuel A1 says, what amount of marketing will make people who only play Madden, NBA 2K, and Fortnite play Baldur's Gate 3 or Starfield? Wrong.
The same amount of marketing that makes those same people play Spider-Man 2.
Okay, repeat that. I'm sorry, I was gone.
Emmanuel A1 says, what amount of marketing will make people who only play Madden, NBA 2K, and Fortnite play Baldur's Gate 3 or Starfield? It's the wrong demographics, bro.
No, it's the same amount of people that'll make those same people play Spider-Man 2. Every once in a while, you got a Madden player, a 2K player, you got a Warzone player that wants to play one of those games.
Yeah.
And so don't come with that. Don't come with that.
And sometimes it's even simpler than that. Don't aim for those people. Aim for those people's friends.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, it's Starfield is it's big, man. And if Starfield fails, right? Let's say Starfield fails, right? It will be catastrophic for Xbox. Because the thing is that
if Starfield fails, yeah, I don't even want to think about it.
Nah, that'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Yeah.
That would literally be the worst thing that could possibly happen to Microsoft right now. Would that be the end of Microsoft? No. But I would say things are bad now. Things are going to get really bad if that happens.
Yeah, Starfield, again, the pressure on Starfield is ridiculous, but it is what it is. They did it to themselves, so it is what it is. But all right, fellas, I got to start heading out. I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm about to go ahead and play some Flight Simulator. Someone in the chat said that Flight Simulator is not a game. Oh, my God. So I'm just going to play it just out of spite.
Oh, man.
They just mad because they can't play it.
You know what you got to do? You got to tweet a video of you playing it.
Facts.
Shout out to Doc Dark, man. Thank you for coming through, man. Pleasure having you. You know, Fielder, like I said, I'll be live probably like every other day with one of these, but appreciate you, man.
All right, no worries. Hey, yo, Addict, we got to do something together, man. We could do double spins on the chair or something. I don't know, man. I love that, bro. Every single video I see you do it.
Yeah, I was gonna make a video yesterday, but
the other day you did a quarter turn one. You didn't do a full one. I was like, I didn't get my full turn. All right, fellas, you guys have a good one. Peace out.
All right, so here we are. So he said, "Oh, the Beer Baron says there's level 2." This Addict, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So last thing I want to react to is like the what is this double standard, man? Just a couple double standards going on. Double standard one is Forza. We know about Forza and Halo games that they're working on that's been in development a long time, missing out on features while they're preparing to launch. I understand they're rightfully criticized, right? But when it happens on the Xbox side, it's mismanagement, it's poor management. Oh, it's because the Xbox Series S is weak and all this other stuff. But like, where was that energy when games like The Last of Us and Uncharted and their series follow-ups, when these missing multiplayer and all that other stuff, it's like not giving that same energy, but they apply that pressure to like games like Forza, games they don't even freaking play. Now, there was this thing that happened on Twitter. Ryan McCaffrey says he regrets the $597 that he spent on his PSVR2 because there's like no games and it's been collecting dust. People took offense because he said PSVR2 has no games. A lot of people that took offense were the people from the PlayStation community that often said Xbox has no games. Let me repeat this. Ryan McCaffrey made a tweet where he says he regrets spending the $597 he did on a PSVR2 because of no games. Highlighted that his PSVR2 was collecting dust. This made a bunch of PlayStation fanboys upset, and they all went on a tirade to show him how much games are available in the PSVR2 store. Like, it does have games, And then, I sit back and I'm like, okay, so the PSVR2 has games, clearly. Yeah, I'm mad that he said it doesn't have any games, but a lot of you guys, spent years telling Xbox fans that Xbox has no games, and I've made videos where I went into the store and just highlighted games that were exist on Xbox. Hey, I made videos, I pointed out exclusives, but oh no, they don't have any exclusives. They have to change. No exclusive. Oh, not AAA bangers. Oh, they're not they gotta be high meta rated. Oh, they gotta be Game of the Year nominated. They kept pushing the whole thing, and it's like, why y'all so mad, bro? Why y'all so mad that that's how he feels? He's not getting the enjoyment out of the PSVR2. Hell, I'm gonna tell you this, man. He has his PSVR2 has a lot of dust on it. My PS5 has a lot of dust on it. I haven't played the PS5 in over a year. Now, I could say, based off my play, the type of stuff I like, I can say rightfully the PlayStation 5 have no games. I just chosen not to. I just don't talk about it. You know what I mean? But I haven't touched it. And does that mean the PS5 has no games? One can argue that. One can literally argue that. But the thing is though, it was funny to see that dose of medicine get distributed back to these dudes, and they take it just as hard as Xbox, if not worse. They get really emotional about it, and it's like, dude, you guys are the biggest hypocrites on the internet. The biggest hypocrites on the internet. And you guys need to call yourself out or take a nap, because it's ridiculous. So, and even within that, and I highlighted it, even within that post, a lot of people were still applying that same, like trying to defend what they mean when Xbox has no games, but they can't apply that logic to PlayStation VR. The PSVR 2, I can't comment on it. I don't own it. I had the PSVR 1. I mean, I played a few games on it, didn't have that much fun with it, and there was no way I was going to spend upwards of $600 on a PSVR 2. It's just like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I don't enjoy VR gaming to that degree. It's a different niche of gamers. Some people enjoy it. I don't have the room for it. I don't have the room to enjoy it. I don't have the leisure or the comfort to enjoy it. I think my son wants it, but it's a waste. It's a waste. But if you guys can say, that Xbox has no games, then one can clearly say PlayStation doesn't have any games. One can say PSVR 2 definitely doesn't have any games, because at the end of the day, because something that the product is so niche and the library is curated, if you're an individual and those games do not intrigue you, then therefore it has no games. Because at the end of the day, right, the thing is that games are expensive, very expensive. So how many games are you gonna risk buying? All right, I'm gonna keep buying games until I find the one that is right for me. That's insanity. That is insanity. RL Stein says, he says the PSVR 2 has no roadmap, and PS has not invested any of their studios to make games for it. Why? Because with less than 1 million user player base, no reason for PS to invest in it. They won't. Hey, shit. I mean, you got a point there. You got a point there. PS. The thing about the PlayStation VR, and it's strange, like, so the PSVR 1 wasn't wildly successful. I don't know if it had to surpass 10 million units yet. Because I know, like I said, it was niche, and it was, popular amongst the users, but it wasn't a worldwide monumental success when you consider how many PS4s is out there. And I don't think the PlayStation VR 2 will ever be as successful, because at the end of the day, it still requires a PlayStation 5 to be used. PlayStation 5 is fairly expensive. You gotta buy that and the PSVR 2 together. you're looking at $1,000, and it's a big investment, and it's a risky one, especially if PlayStation hasn't shown that they're going to back it. Now I think they go back. They purchase, I think, VR specific studios, at least one or two, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure they'll be able to push out some content. They can always add VR modes to their existing games that they got coming out as additions. But I've never been a VR player. It's never been my cup of tea, and I'm just not that interested. But I don't think people really should be harping on this dude Ryan the way y'all did when y'all had that same energy he had for Xbox. It's either like, because now if we have to accept your definition, is like, oh, it's only doesn't have games because we mean first party exclusive bangers. Okay, the games I'm assuming every game outside of like what the Horizon VR game and Gran Turismo, every game that's probably on PSVR exists on some other VR platforms. I'm sure, because nobody's just making just specific VR games for PlayStation. That would be a waste of time, resources, and money. You won't do that. You will not do that. I'm sure, I'm almost certain the majority of the games that exist on the PlayStation VR, PlayStation VR2 exist on other VR headsets. And they're probably not that intriguing. But again, that hopefully, those who participated in that, have a different type of energy for Xbox fans and Xbox users when you guys are trying to talk us out of playing Xbox because you feel that we don't have any games to play, and it's just far from the truth. Far from the truth. Aaron says PSVR2 is the worst idea of this gen for any gaming company. I'm not sure I'm willing to say that. Like I said, there is a market that's just not big enough. It's just not big enough. And then when you consider PlayStation's VR is limited to the console. But yeah, man. So Ryan took a verbal beating from the usual suspects in regards to that, and hopefully, people understand our plight. But it was funny to see how the tides turn on PlayStation fanboys. So,
I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to like his statement, regardless if you disagree, his perspective is the VR has no gains for him. And that's why I never get on to like the PlayStation people for saying it, even though that this is literally the exact same thing. There's no Xbox games for them. So they're not wrong, but it's like at the same time, like, I just feel like sometimes PlayStation people can't take it as much as they dish it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels like the moment they could talk all this smack on Xbox stuff, Xbox games, just even talking shit about people just collecting Xbox controllers. But God forbid you talk smack about that VR. And what's funny is like, okay, they're playing Gran Turismo. What were they playing before then?
I don't know. There's some obscure games that they have on a VR that people hype up, but I'm gonna say this: it's a lot of like indie and AA games, and you literally have to bargain and bin shop for a good experience. Based off what I hear, I'm just going based off what I hear on Weapon Wheel, and what I'm saying is that there's a couple folks like BG and they play games, but it's not like that these games were just wildly popular or anything like that. These are games that they came across that just turned out to be decent to work for them. But it's not the majority. It's not the majority. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay, oh shit, I didn't realize I've been going live for 2 hours. I mean, shout out to everybody to come through. Again, I expect to go live. My goal is to go live So anytime I'm in the mood to make a video, but they're probably going to be more later in the evening though.
So well, let me ask the chat something, because they're the ones that they're the ones that would watch your content. Would you guys prefer Move to be very like, what's what I'm looking for? Like predictable if he's gonna make like, even if something happened, let's say something happened on like a Wednesday, would you prefer him just to go live like 2 or 3 times a week with videos that he posts from his live streams? Would you prefer if he did do that, maybe, you dedicate a time like on a Friday at 10 p.m. you're going to go live? I feel like the best thing for you to do is be consistent when you will go live. Even if something happens earlier that day, they know when you will be live.
Yeah. Just 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, except for weekends, and it'll be earlier in the day. That I plan to go live. Also, especially if I have a lot to say. So, yeah, definitely taking feedback. I do want to go. If everybody who's a part of like the obviously my community.
Have you been recording like I told you?
Yeah, I've recorded a couple snippets. For sure that I can put out. R.L. Stein says predictable, or you mean with a consistent cadence? Consistent, yes.
Consistency is how often he would be posting content. I'm talking about being scheduled, like he's a streamer where people know when he will go live. Because I feel like people can know what time you would generally go live, but you could still not be consistent. Oh, I'll go live at 10 p.m., but you only go live 10 p.m. once a month.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I get you what you're saying. Yeah, it'd be a schedule. Like, so if I would be like, all right, I'm gonna go live 3 times a week or 4 times a week on these days, you can expect damn, it's hard to do it in the gaming news, but the goal would be to be able to go live 3 times a week.
It's not even like you're at this point, you've always made content on everything.
Yeah.
So, I don't even think it's hard to go live that certain amount of time. Just go live only, on everything. There's definitely stuff to talk about weekly, unless it's like the driest has been in forever. And most of the time, that's not even the case.
Yeah, for sure. What you guys are looking at is some amazing Spider-Man 2 gameplay. All right, so I beat the game. I passed the disc on to my son. I actually upgraded his Series S to a Series X so he can play games on disc. Now that I think about it, game is not that bad. I actually like the story and the enemies, like the villains. Like I didn't realize I ain't no Carnage was in this game, and he ended up being the final boss. But they had Carnage, you had the Goblin, you had Shocker, I think, to open the game with. It's like the thing is that this one has some of like the same freaking scenarios from like the one in the Insomniac game had. Fucking what's the big ass dude, Kingpin, Fisk, and stuff like that. They had the same scenarios, and they also had Kraven in this one, who you also had to fight. Who's going to be headlining part 2? So what? Who's headlining Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac? Kraven, Venom, and the fucking Reptile, right? Those are I'm pretty sure there's going to be more villains you fight in the game, but those, I feel like, the 3 main people that
I think Venom's going to be the last boss. I don't know. Maybe
I feel like because they showed him, he might not be the last boss.
The only reason I'll disagree with you a little bit on that is because I feel like Venom's one of those characters that even if he's the last boss, he's so popular and people love him so much that you might want to show him regardless, just because that would be a key selling point to your game.
Yeah, because when did we see Doc Ock as a part of this? When did we see? I don't feel like we saw him until we didn't see him until we played the game. Because they kept leading with Mr. Negative.
Yeah, they did show a lot of negative.
Yeah, they kept showing him. So I thought he was the primary dude, and it was Doc Ock. So I feel like they could probably pull the same thing off here, even though for primarily Venom is probably going to have the biggest impact of the game, but maybe they end up fighting. We end up fighting, I don't know, the Goblin or some shit like that at the end. He probably is the true villain or some shit like that. And if that's the case, I feel like I have a demo of that from this game, because I feel like it's covering some of the the same things. But like I said in earlier in this podcast, that I plan to play. I should have streamed Spider-Man, but I plan to play all the classic Spider-Mans. Right now I'm on the hunt and trying to do this as cost effective as possible to get all the backwards compatible Spider-Man games, play them leading up, and I'm playing them exclusively on Xbox because Xbox is the only place where you can do that.
You're gonna give the person a shout out that got you the other game?
When I get him, I'll give him a shout out because I don't want to jinx it. I feel you. Yeah, but once we get he'll definitely get a shout out. But the goal is to play all the Spider-Man games that are backwards compatible on Xbox Series X until Spider-Man 2 comes out. So I should be able to achieve, if I get them in time, I should be able to achieve this before Starfield comes out as well too. I'm just, it's more so of just a self-education. I've seen almost all the Spider-Man movies. I've watched the cartoon, didn't read all the comics, but I have a good knowledge of all the Spider-Man characters, their lore and everything like that. But I want to see how other games were made, because prior to my video game experience with Spider-Man was limited to the Spider-Man 2 movie from 2001, 2002, which was PS2, which at the time felt like the best Spider-Man game to date. And now Insomniac's Spider-Man game. Now, obviously, I did the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I'm going to play through, Web of Shadows, The Edge of Time, and something else. Maybe the first one in the Amazing Spider-Man series. I'll play that and see how those all fared out, and hopefully, I'll have a good time. So definitely looking in to see how that all goes. Oh man, so. Anything in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys coming through. You guys came up big for me today on a random day. I did podcast, no real advertising, right? But that's not.
Damn, people know when you be there, and then go. Can I explain something real quick?
Go ahead.
Go with Smooth's channel, and I'm not trying to talk like I run Smooth's channel. Kid definitely runs his own channel. Is I think the best course for him, because I think is to make his live streams and cut his live streams into videos, because the videos will put him more in the algorithm to get newer audiences, and I think people like you more as a live stream. But there's a lot of work when it goes into that. But
yeah, absolutely.
If we set things up, it will cut that work back.
Yeah, and the goal is I get to a certain point where I'm able to get a better backdrop, better equipment, then the quality of these live streams will improve. Quality of the the cuts will improve. But I think I got something. You guys let me know how you guys felt about this stream today. I kind of just went on a rant for the most part. Shout out to Doc Dart for coming through impromptu. That was not planned, but it's always good to have him around. And yeah, man. Also, look out Planet Xbox podcast. If you are a member of the Weapon Wheel Patreon, you can check that out now. It should be live right now. And if you are subscribed to obviously BG, it'll be live in a few days and whatnot. So definitely check out. We had a good discussion, episode 13 of Planet Xbox podcast, powered by Weapon Wheel.
We disagreed almost the entire podcast.
Yep.
It was funny. It's people sit there and say, acting like we're just an echo chamber. It's like they don't watch our content then, because we almost never agree.
Yeah. Me and Addict, even though we have, the thing is, the only thing we have in common, we primarily play on Xbox, but me and Addict don't.
We play literally almost the exact opposite game.
Yeah, we play exact opposite game. I can't play the game, and it's weird that we game share. So, I don't enjoy the games that he enjoys, and he doesn't really enjoy the games that I play. And the ones we do enjoy together, we co-op, or they're just usually solo games that we're obviously reviewing, but any game that we enjoy together, we typically co-op if that's a feature. So, but yeah, we can get ready to log out. It's 8:30. I might be back on here in a half an hour to live stream a game. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to go live with you guys, see what the community's talking about, and I haven't done this in a long time, so we'll see. Blue Jay, he says, I think what most people prefer is for Smooth to be live when news comes out or on schedule. People do watch the videos, but I feel like we don't get your full opinion like we do with the live stream. Guardian7 says, great show tonight. Appreciate you. Also, good feedback, Blue Jay. Definitely take that into heavy consideration. Shout out to little sad boy Blue. He was all up in the comments today. I think I think he triggered Doc in a moment. Emmanuel A1 PCU, blessed rest what you missed. Not much, but you are about to watch me complete this Spider-Man game. Which then again, this game almost robbed me for achievements, but then I realized I was not connected to Xbox Live, so they ain't unlocked until I signed back in. And that was because my Ethernet was like partially out of the back. So I think I had rage quit like before when I was playing like 2K. But yeah, man, no, thank you guys for coming through. It's been a pleasure. We did 2 hours and 25 minutes, and that's good timing. We're gonna see you guys in a couple days. I'll let you guys know when I'm going live. I'll just next time I'll have the better thumbnails and stuff prepared, so I can add a little bit more fiesta to it. But appreciate you guys as always, man. Xbox is the best box. I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here, man. Peace.